This is the XNC Podcast, your Xbox newscast, featuring Colteastwood and Mag, hosting industry interviews and gaming talk live on YouTube every Monday night at 5 p.m. on the West Coast, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. For all of you listening around the world, XNC Podcast is available on demand on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Welcome to the show. Join the chat, hit the like button, and let's get into this week's topics with the Xbox newscast. Welcome to the XNC Podcast. I'm Colteastwood, and over here is middle-aged game guy, and we are just flying by the seat of our pants today. We literally just sat down and said, I was like, hey, Meg, should we do a podcast? And Meg's like, what now?
Yeah, what are we doing? What are we even doing here? Unbelievable. How you doing, Colt? How's everything going, buddy? How's your week been? What have you been up to?
I don't even know. We were like reeling from the showcase. I've been playing a lot of video games. Getting home from doing that show we did last week. I spent a lot of time like getting stuff taken care of around the house and taking care of a bunch of work that piled up while I was gone. And then I sat down to play video games at the end of the week, and then the time kept going away from me. So, I've been just playing a bunch of Starfield with the new updates. So what have you been doing?
I've been incredibly busy as, summer approaches, a lot of events, a lot of things going on, whatever in the personal life. And then, of course, on the gaming side, I started diving deep, although there was a bit of a learning curve with it. But Dying Light 2 is a magnificent game. Now
you're finally in.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm I'd say about 6 hours maybe. And once you figure everything out and what to do and how to do it and all that, it's very similar to the first game. But there are some, like I said, there's a bit of a learning curve of what to do and how to find stuff and navigate around, whatever. Anyways.
I got to hear what you're like. What are your first impressions of the way the game looks and how it feels to smack zombies with a bat? How do you feel about it?
Seeing that you and I just came off of playing Dead Island 2 just last summer, going into this one is a far more serious game, right? It's like that one's more of a parody, and it's a great game. Dead Island is a great game, but you can tell it's more of a parody. It's got a bit of comedy to it. It's not to be taken too seriously. This one is a whole different ball game. Okay, there's a tiny bit of comedy, but for the most part, I got to say this is dead serious, no pun intended. But it's a very serious game, and it takes itself very seriously, right?
Have you done the thing where you climb up those towers to like pull the switch?
Yeah. The windmills and stuff to activate the safe zones and stuff. A lot of fun. Now that the game is 2 years old, all the patches are in, everything's been updated, a lot of things have been fixed, whatever. It runs as smooth as butter, baby. What a great game. Anyways, I'm having a great time with that. And on the other side of things, I just started playing Resident Evil 6 with my wife because we already destroyed Resident Evil 5. So now we're doing Resident Evil 6. So I'm doing those two games right now. But I look forward to, everything else that we got coming up. We got great games coming up. I will be playing the games that are coming out for the rest of this year for Xbox and third party like Call of Duty and Avowed and Indiana Jones. I will be playing this year. I'm not gonna put those on the back burner because two reasons. A, I'm interested. I need to see it. But plus, you know what? We need to talk about them, right? So I want to get these games up front, right? So those games I will play right away and whatever else. But anyways, you want to hear something wild?
Yeah,
this is totally.
You said you had a story, and I'm like waiting.
I'll be about 3 minutes. So I'm
okay. Let me get a drink.
Go get a drink. So here's what happens. I'm cutting my lawn. My kids are playing basketball in the driveway, whatever else. So my wife moves one of our cars out in the street, one of our SUVs. So she puts it out on the street, whatever, right? I'm in the backyard cutting the lawn. I finish up, come back in, put the lawnmower back in the garage. I go inside to wash up quick, and then I'm going to go out, move the truck, and put it back in the driveway. As I come back out with the keys, I see neighbors congregating around my car. Right, so I go, hey guys, what are we all?
Your Tesla?
No, the Tesla was in the garage.
Okay.
So the SUV's out in the street, and I'm like, what's going on there, guys? And did you not see your car? And I'm like, no. So I go out to the street, and the one side of my car is completely gone, and I don't mean like a little bit gone. I mean pulverized, right? And I'm like, what the hell happened? Anyways, we're trying to figure out what happened. I take my son's electric scooter. I'm driving up and down.
Someone like skewered it like on the way by.
Oh, dude, head on, and demolished the car. Right, it's a complete write-off, and I didn't see it because, like I said, I walked in from the side, went in the house, and when I came back out, I could only see a corner of it. I couldn't see the rest of it, and there were pieces of it like 20 feet away. So all of a sudden, we're trying to figure out who did this, whatever else. But One of my neighbors comes out with her cell phone. And she goes, this son of a bitch, right?
No.
I swear to God, that's what she said.
She recorded
on her cell phone. She had a 4K camera built above her garage because she's one of those neighborhood snoops.
Yeah.
One of those neighborhood snoops, right? But thank God for her.
Like a Biff Rinaldi of the neighborhood.
Oh, dude, 100%. And like, you know what? A necessary evil. So get this. She not only recorded this thing in 4K, I got to send you the video. It's actually really funny. And you see this car plowing down the road in oncoming traffic in the wrong direction, full tilt right into the car. Then the guy took off, parked his car. She knew who it was. She goes, that's Mike. I know where he is. He's the drunk old man who lives one street over. Yeah. So guess what? He was drunk. He plowed into the car, destroyed my car, realized what he did, drove back to his house, put the car in his garage, closed the door, and you ready for this? He came back on foot. Yeah. It's on the video. He came back on foot to see what he did, and then he went back home and didn't say a goddamn word. Well, the neighbors busted down his door, and they're like, Mike, open the garage door. We want to see your car.
He's like,
we know what you did. Oh, he got busted. He got busted.
Oh.
So can you imagine the balls of this guy? And the cops were at my house. You know, whatever. They went to his house.
Happen?
A couple days ago. He's getting charged with 4. He's getting charged with 4 felonies. Now here's the other reason why he took off and hit his car. You know why? He had no driver's license. He was drunk, and he had no insurance. In Canada, you can't have car insurance unless you have a driver's license. So that's why he took off.
It's kind of a bad combination,
dude. Can you imagine this? It was unbelievable. So, yeah, thank you.
Did he stammer out and go, Forza Horizon 5's bringing the DeLorean next week? Well,
Crispy Bomb, I know it doesn't show up, but Crispy Bomb sounds like Trailer Park Boys.
It does. Oh, yeah, I love Trailer Park Boys.
It kind of does. But you know the thing is, we couldn't figure it out. We're like, why was he on my street? He lives one street over. So they think he was so plowed in the brain that he actually thought he was on his street.
Did he do this at night or during the day?
No, it was broad daylight. It was 6 o'clock.
Freaking Canadians.
Can you imagine that? What a day. So anyways, I got a pulverized car. It was complete write-off. They gave me a rental, whatever else, and this guy's going to jail. So it was a wild thing. That was non-video game related, folks. Anyways, back to gaming. We have things to talk about.
Oh, bro, I love that. Everyone always gets the hit and run, and they just go on chasing retribution. You got Janice comes around like, I got video.
Oh, she had it on her phone.
Was she in like a moo-moo? Still like in her pajamas.
I can't tell you everything she actually said. She's got a potty mouth like me. But
congrats to you, bro. Congrats that this is gonna work out okay.
Well, the funny thing is, my brothers, my parents, and the police all said the same thing. They looked at the video because I showed them the video. We had proof, right?
Yeah.
And they wanted to see it. The insurance company wanted. You know what they all said? Instead of saying like, "Oh man, that's terrible," they all go, "Wow, that's a really nice camera."
Oh, nice.
Because the video is so beautiful, right? And there's audio on it and everything, so you could hear the big, curse splash and whatever else. But it's so funny. They're all like, wow, that's a really nice camera. So, yeah. So, anyways, invest in a 4K camera, folks, because you never know when drunk old newfies are going to drive on the wrong side of the street and plow into one of your cars one of these days. So, anyways, Colt Eastwood, let's talk about video games.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how in the world do we fold that into the news other than me making the joke about they're bringing Knight Rider, the Jeep from, well, not a Jeep, but the Jeep from Jurassic Park, and they're bringing the DeLorean, like the 1955 or the 1855 DeLorean, into Forza Horizon 5, just in time to bring it to PlayStation.
I did see that. I did see that, and the DeLorean with the neon lights around it looks really cool. I was awesome. Like, wow, that's really neat. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't played Forza Horizon 5 in a while. Maybe someone in the chat or you yourself can know or know about it. Have they added any electric cars in there yet? Just out of curiosity, like Tesla,
yeah, there's a few. There's the the Ford Mustang E-Mach, whatever you call it. There's the Porsche. Crap, I forgot what it's called. There's the Porsche EV that has two gears on it. That's really cool. There's a few. There's a few there.
Yeah, no,
and that blue number says.
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, because they're fast.
Yeah. Like, the Porsche one was really good. But I was driving with the manual on my racing seat. And it's like, and that's it. The reason why I said something about the Jeep, that blue number, is because they were supposed to be Land Cruisers in the book. And then I think they made them into Jeeps for the movie. For those of you who are book purists.
Yes, I did read the Michael Crichton books.
I did too. It was good.
Yeah, I read them. I love them. The books are fantastic. Actually, I read almost all Michael Crichton books. Is it Crichton or Crichton? I don't even know.
I'm just
going to say Crichton. But either way, Michael Crichton. I read all his books. But yes, you're absolutely right. They made the Jeeps because they looked better. They looked better on camera. And the other reason why is because you could do more in a Jeep than you could do in a car. Like, for example, when it turned upside down, they were able to you know what I mean? Utilize the space in there. It was all for drama, right? And then they could, the T-Rex comes down. Yeah, Spielberg, once in a while, he knows what he's doing. So, anyway, I only brought up the Tesla because, like, the Roadster, for example, is the fastest car in the world right now. It hits 0 to 100, 60 for you guys, 0 to 100 for us in 1.1 seconds. Right, so I'm like, that would be wild to be able to play with, one of those, other than just, driving one in real life. So pretty cool. Anyways, I mean, I'm interested to see that. Well, why now?
Well, I mean, I was really starting to get confident that we would see Forza Horizon 6 showcased and then come out at the end of this year. So I don't know. They're still doing content, and then there's people talking about Forza Horizon 5 and Flight Sim. Either the new one or the older one is coming to PlayStation, and that's a whole weird thing, but they're just continuing to support Forza Horizon 5, so I don't think they're going to come out with the next one for another year from now. What they typically do is show it in the summer showcase, and then they release it that fall.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's nice.
Stephen Avery says that I look like a guy who drive a Ford Ranger. Yeah, no, that would be Red Wolf. Looks like he drives a Ford Ranger, but in fact, he drives a Subaru wagon, I think. And you can just imagine how, I don't know, people like to look at people and say, what car do you drive? And you already know what Mag drives. So, it's kind of funny to say, you know what, you look like someone who drives a Nissan Altima. That was kind of the jokes that were going around. I love cars. So we're doing a new thing here on the, I'm always trying to make things work the best they can. Let me look at how things are running right now. It looks like things are running well. I did a lower latency. So what you're seeing when Mag and I are talking and you're watching us on the show, you're just 3 seconds behind us. Typically it's around 10 seconds, and I'm trying a lower latency thing that seems to be working okay. I'm looking at it and it just, I don't know. It's a great way to make the show feel wonderful. So Jacob Tarupa says you look like somebody who drives a Ford 350. I have a 22-year-old Chevy Silverado that I bought for yard projects, and then I love it. But that's just
22 years old.
Yeah,
wow.
It just sits in the driveway. And then my neighbor and I were running errands. We were doing stuff with the yard, and he goes, "How old's this truck?" I go, "It's 22 years old." He goes, "Oh, it doesn't really feel like it." I'm like, "Thank you, I vacuumed it." We got our good friend from the Expansion Pass with a $2 super chat. I think this is Luke. I forgot. Maybe he doesn't use that his name on there. But anyway, he says, "Hi, Cole. Enjoyed meeting you, dude. Cheers." Of course, it's Luke. Met him at the showcase. Grandpa's Barbecue Game Cat. Thank you so much for the Australian 10. Says, "Sure, this will be a great show. Colt and Mag. Too busy this morning. We'll watch after the fact. Have a great week." If you're here, I'll do some business. Mag. We're gonna give away. Shoot, I better look at my post before I say the wrong number. I think I know what it is. We're going to give away 5 of these Gears coins. These Gears E-Days or Gears War coins, which I have it in the bottom. The front looks like this. Or I like to think of this as the front because it's so cool. But Xbox Fan Art is having us give out some coins, and we will get those shipped to you. We'll pick winners sometime today during the show. You got to be here in the chat so that the moderators can pick those names. We appreciate you guys for being here in the chat. Mag, what else do I have to say? We're on Spotify and Apple and Google Podcasts. What else do you want to say about Mag? What do you want to say about Ecstasy Podcast?
About Ecstasy Podcast, it's a wonderful podcast that you can come here, have some fun, have a good time, whatever. Make fun of me, make fun of Colt, make fun of the fact that we're old. Specifically, come after me. It's all good. I keep my hat on because reasons. I blind everybody in the chat, but hey, we're here to have a good time. We're not here to bore anybody to death like certain people we know.
Randall Snore, who had a show today.
Yep. Well, I just woke up from the nap as soon as he started the show, and then came right on this show. That's usually what happens.
It's like, welcome everybody to the Xbox 2.
Yeah, and that's it. I'm in a coma. That's it. And then I drift off into outer space, and then I'm back right in time for this show. Anyways, all
before we
joking
get into the
aside.
gaming news, can I ask you a question about? We like to make
Sure.
fun of us for being old because we're old. I said something to my son today. I said, you're gonna be like in your 30s when I'm old. He goes, no, Dad, no. Like when I'm in my 20s, you're gonna be really old. And he didn't mean like you're gonna look old, but I'll be really old. My son and I were at the post office, and there was this line of old people in front of us.
Yep.
And there was that smell. And I know you've worked in the hospitality business, you've been around old people, but there's this smell. We're going to get into the gaming news, but I have to ask you, old people have this smell. Do you know what it is?
Yes. Yeah, it's usually they pee their pants, and the other one is death. That's
it's so universal. It must. And we'll be there soon.
There it is. Zucker, knock it off. He's already starting. Like the guy just shows up in the chat. The guy disappears for like 18 months, and then all of a sudden he just shows up again and he starts talking smack.
Yeah, he's re-energized.
Yeah.
Shout out to Zucker.
Yeah. Void Rat, don't worry about it, dude. You're not ancient. Don't worry, we're not ancient. Yeah, Mothballs. Greg G. That's right. Greg K. Excuse me. Greg K. Mothballs. No, it's urine and the Grim Reaper. That's what you're saying.
It's the smell of the Grim Reaper. Like
he's right. Yeah, he's right there on the shoulder, going, "It's almost time." He's one of those guys
today.
Yeah. No kidding. Yeah, did you wash your sarcophagus today? Anyways, no, all joking aside. Yeah, you know what? I saw that once on Family Guy, and the
whole Grim Reaper episode.
They went to go visit Lois's parents, and then they get to Stewie, and they're like, "Oh, hey there, little Stewie," whatever. And he goes, "I smell death on you." Yeah, and so I always think about that. It makes me laugh.
It's it's so weird. It's so weird, and we're gonna be old when all these games come out. So I think we'll have to deal with that. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you. Over 400 of you. Hit the like button if you're about to enjoy the show. I'll give you an idea what we're gonna talk about. It's down on the scroll down at the bottom where I have all of the topics that I work from, so Mag and I can talk and cover the gaming news the best possible. We're gonna start with the first thing. Is Mag absolutely killed it with a tweet reply today. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Obviously.
I mean, it's like the first thing I saw this morning was Mag. What was your response? We'll play a little Twitter Jeopardy. What was your answer? And then everyone will guess what was the question.
Was it the one that Tom Warren put up that I was talking to Tom Warren?
Yeah.
You
got a zinger.
So the whole thing, but my God, he's already starting as again right here. Look at this. The game adaptation newscast. Mag already smells like piss. No, I don't. Only when I drink a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, which is all the time. Okay, so anyways, here's what ended up happening. This is from Tom Warren earlier today. He was saying a scoop. Xbox's marketing chief Jarrett West is departing Microsoft for Roblox. West is the second Xbox exec to depart this year, and his resignation has triggered a gaming marketing shakeup inside Microsoft. All the details below. And of course, me being a jackass had to respond immediately saying, I wasn't aware Xbox even had a marketing team. Hey-oh! So yeah, I just thought it, and
you almost had more likes on that reply than the post.
It's getting there. It's slowly climbing. So no, I'm not gonna ratio Tom Warren. You kidding me? That guy.
It was good though. People loved the joke. J-Rock said the same thing. It was like about time their marketing is hey.
Well, hey man, listen. There's a lot of money in Roblox. So like, you know what I mean? God bless. Go for it, dude. Like, do whatever's best for you. Like, I'm sure he did all right, but I mean, hey, if you quit Microsoft or you quit any corporation, you don't get a payout. You don't get a payout unless they let you go, right? So no. You only get a payout if they're letting you go for non-egregious reasons, right? If they're letting you go for egregious reasons, you don't get a payout. You don't get a severance package. However, if they let you go or they lay you off, then you get a severance. However, if you quit, you're just on your merry way. But I would imagine that something like Roblox that's making just bank is obviously offering him a fair amount of money to be able to go over there. Well, why not? Just go do it, man. Like I said,
well, it's even a perfect spot because Roblox sells itself and you don't have to do anything.
No, you don't have to do anything. And the other thing is the contributions are done by people that are up and coming programmers and developers who are so hungry for success that they're just pounding out content onto Roblox. And so it basically, like you said, Colt, it sells itself. So You know what I mean? Like what a great. I mean, it's not for me. It's not my thing. I've seen my kids play it. I can't figure it out. I just stare at it and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Like, this is crazy. But yeah, with the stupid walking. Yeah.
My son loves the game though, but like I've said a million times, I walk by and I'm like, what is it with this? And sometimes the games just look so cool, but there's so much variation. I don't know. I'm not the type of guy to say, why in the world would you play that? But every time I see him over there enjoying the heck out of it, I'm like, the dude loves the game. Like, it just gives him endless fun. But shout out to Jarrett West to go market Roblox,
man, go for it.
Xbox.
And Magnum, we haven't even been 24 minutes into the show, and Magnum has already said, hey, Magnum, guess what? Your comment got blocked by a mod. It got blocked by a mod. La, 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 la. No one else can see it. No one else can see it. Have a fair dinkum day in Australia. La, la, la.
Is that where he is?
Yeah, he's in Australia. Yeah.
You know, it took 8 minutes for that comment to get over here, and then it got smacked down by the gatekeepers.
And it got sent back.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
think
know.
It's Thursday over there.
Everyone's probably looking at this small tidbit of news about Jarrett West leaving is like, hey, maybe this just means somebody's going to come in who's like super hungry to be big and not market a game a week before it launches. So it's not really much.
Colt, I'm seeing things, by the way, in a positive way. I know, all joking aside, and everything we'll be talking about, but when it comes to the marketing, I have noticed that even on Instagram, my personal Instagram or whatever else, it's not connected to the mag at all. It's my actual real one.
Yeah.
I've actually noticed that every time I click on or I'm scrolling and looking at my reels of unspeakable things that I look at on Instagram.
Why is this being recommended to me?
Noticed. Yeah. Well, we know why. It's like we're gearing it all towards your black heart, and I'm like, yeah, I know. Anyways,
but
I've
been seeing a lot
of ads. No. And I actually see a lot of advertising for Indiana Jones. I've been seeing advertising. I've been seeing advertising for Bethesda games. Like in general, I'm just like, wow. This is it. This is what we've been sort of saying. Like, hey, guys, can we, you know what I mean? Get out there in the public or whatever. And I haven't seen as much Sony stuff on on Meta and whatever else, but I did see Microsoft stuff on there. And I'm like, interesting. And so every once in a while, like on different social media platforms, I'm seeing advertisements for those games. But here's the thing, though. And here's Black Ops 6, another one. But here's the thing: no release dates except for Black Ops 6. So they're advertising the game, they're getting people interested, but still Indy Jones doesn't have a release date. So I'm like, you guys are going in the right direction. And I understand, maybe you don't have a specific date locked down for the game or whatever else.
Uh-huh.
However, it seems kind of weird that you're doing all this great advertising and you're getting a lot of exposure for the games out there, except you're not nailing down a date.
They showed a new game clip today too. Really short.
Yes.
But I want to talk about that later because I have that on the list. Because I have some concerns about Indiana Jones, so I want to dive into that later on the show. But when you're talking about those advertising pieces, Mag, most of it is Bethesda, who's always been normal about advertising. It's Xbox who's been so bare bones and so cheap and so reactive about their marketing plans. And it was good to see Hellblade. Like, I can't remember, I was watching something with my family, and a Hellblade commercial came on before the game launched. I was like, oh my gosh, it's an Xbox commercial. I never see these. And it was kind of dumb that I feel that way.
Yeah. No, I know that, but you know what though? It's not dumb.
We don't need to see it. Right?
No, I understand, but what I'm saying is you're not trying to sell us on the games. We're there. We're already there. You're right. We're there day one. Stop it, Colt. What are you doing?
Sorry.
Were those Starfield headphones? They look
actually they're
headphones. Let me see them.
They're really nice, man. I've been using them over my A50s lately.
Oh, nice.
What's
the sound quality?
Say again.
What's the yeah, you got me stuttering on my words. What's the sound quality like?
Normally I'm kind of picky, but they're pretty good. The mic sounds kind of muddy to when most people, when I jump on this one, they think the mic sounds a little muddy. Okay. But when you turn it on, it has like a power-up sound, like when you're inside the ship for Starfield. I don't know. I just like them. They're comfortable too.
That sounds cute. That sounds nice. I like that.
I like them though. I like them.
That's nice. I like those. You know what? I very rarely use headphones anyway when I game. I usually, because I have to listen for my kids and stuff, right? And my wife and I have opposing schedules, so I can't be like involved in something with headphones on and blah 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 blah. And then all hell's breaking loose upstairs, like the kids are lighting the cats on fire or something or whatever. You know what I mean? I need to hear which they do. I have to hear what's going on, right? So the only time I have headphones on is when I'm in a party chat, and that's very rare too. That's only when I'm playing multiplayer.
Oh yeah, I mean. So, you and I have never been in a party chat. Well, we talk enough here.
But you know what, though? In the fall, when Black Ops 6 comes out, I will be playing Black Ops 6 on Xbox this year, not PlayStation. So I may dilly-dally a little bit with it. No, actually, I don't even have to. What am I talking about? Because the Activision ID, because my son's getting it on PlayStation, right? And I could play. It doesn't matter where I play. I got the Activision ID. I could play with everybody, so it's not an issue. So, yeah, I'll be playing on Xbox this year. So fans, friends, and anybody else in the chat, Magnum specifically, if you want to join us to play Call of Duty this fall, I'm all in, man. Let's do it. It's going to be awesome. So we're going to have some multiplayer. Yeah, we're going to have some multiplayer fun. Make sure, by the way, just to extra piss me off, make sure you're eating Doritos. Make sure you've got really bad hip hop playing in the background, but it sounds really tinny, as if you're playing it through a 1950s clock radio. And then make sure that your girlfriend or your mom or your sister's cousin is yelling at you about being lazy.
Or yelling at a cat.
Yeah, and then
I remember, I remember the old Black Ops, or the old Call of Duty, when I was playing Black Ops 2, the old Call of Duty lobbies when you get in and some guy's like, this is my chance to show people my freestyle rap I wrote. And so you go, go in this lobby, this guy's like, and the ball go around and eating the cats, bringing them around because they're really fat. And everyone's like, shut up!
Yeah. World-renowned geohound, you nailed it. And a smoke alarm that chirps every few minutes. That is 100% facts to you. Like, guys, bro, I need 2 snipers on the roof. Beep. I need 2 snipers on the roof, and I need 2 guys. Beep. And all of a sudden,
I've never wanted to murder my good friend so much. When Dealer went, like, I swear, 6 or 8 months with a smoke alarm battery that was beeping. His smoke alarm,
a 9-volt battery.
He had it up in a like a 12-foot vaulted ceiling. He's like, I can't get to it. He goes, I've thrown my shoe. There's 2 scuff marks on the ceiling. I can't get to it. He goes, I have to hire somebody to come with a super ladder. And we would be in party chat every day, and he'd be like, "Yeah, what do you think about it?" And I'm like,
"Yeah." It's like, guys, it's a 9-volt battery. They're $1.99. Please, for the love of God, go buy one.
He had to bring a guy in with a scissor lift.
Where does he live? In the Sistine Chapel? He can't get on a bloody chair and just change it. He needs to get a scaffolding to get up there.
Take a bunch of bamboo shoots and tape a 9-volt battery to the end of it.
Literal table 756. Absolutely. This is why I mute voice chat. You know what? I never play game, like, what is it? The game channel chat, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's only private chat. Only private chat. And if there's anybody, no, I don't do the open mic thing. But if there is anybody who joins our party and they come in with that nonsense, I boot their asses out right away. I'm like, nope, dude, get out. If you're not going to be an adult and just like talk like a normal adult and just be an adult and just have some fun and whatever else, and don't have like 8 million things going on in the background, like a 3-ring circus happening behind you, please.
I just couldn't understand it, Mag, because for my whole life, my whole adult life anyway, if we heard it beep, we would stop what we were doing. We do it now. Like, we'll be in, hey, we're going to make macaroni and cheese. Beep. Everyone stops and we all go into, because my house has like 6 or 8 smoke alarms, because by code, they put them in each room and each hallway. And when I go, what we do is we all go over and stand in the vicinity underneath one smoke alarm, and you wait the 90 seconds for the beep, and we're like, it's this one. And then we pop, it's over immediately. No more beep. And when I hear people who just put, I tune it out. I can't believe.
No.
Talk about smoke alarm batteries.
Change the 9-volt battery. Oh, listen to this guy, Lieutenant Skew. I don't know if you're joking or not, but I'm enjoying it. He says, Erodimus Mag was never an Xbox guy. He was always a PlayStation guy, hired to debate Colt on the show. I hope you're joking, but if you're not, I have almost 400,000 gamer score. How much do you have? Anyways,
I love that comment when people say Mag's more of a PlayStation guy. I'm like, You know what? I think Mag is a little bit more of a PlayStation guy, and I think it's really good that we could talk about this stuff. Because Mag goes in, he goes in.
I was
for you. Goes in, dude. Segments.
Oh, dude, I do
Game
chunks
segments.
of things. Mm-hmm. So like I did like 15 straight years of Xbox, and then I caught up on PS4. Then I went back to Xbox for 3 more years, did that, and then I repurchased a bunch of games on PlayStation that I really loved playing on Xbox, like all the Resident Evils and Tomb Raiders or whatever else. And now I went back to PlayStation and I'm playing those games on there to platinum them because I adore them. So that's why I very rarely play new games. So, but you know how the community is, right? If you stop playing Xbox for 1.7 seconds, you're a pony. You know what I mean? So if you play Xbox for like 3.8 seconds, you're an Xbot. So, it is what it is. But, in the end, I'm having a lot of fun. So that's all that matters to me. But either way, long story longer, this fall I will be playing Call of Duty on Xbox. So it'll be fun to be with the community that I already haven't added. A lot of people in the Xbox community already have my Activision ID, right? So we're already playing anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just Modern Warfare 3, I'm done with it now. I'm done. I'm done seeing Nicki Minaj and Cheech and Chong running around. So I look forward to. No, dude, it's a real thing. You know that, right? You know it's a real.
I know the Nicki Minaj. Thing. I didn't know the Cheech and Chong thing. Sorry.
Cheech and Chong. Wilmy Hood had them. It's Cheech and Chong running around, and I'm like, okay, it's getting ridiculous now. But anyways, whatever. It is what it is. But hey, what are you gonna do? They're making money. What am I gonna say, right?
I'm still the guy that says bring themed characters or themed armor into Halo. I don't care about your lore. I don't care. I want to play. I want to play Halo as Dua Lipa or Ed Sheeran. Let me have it. Let me have the absolute Kid Leroy.
As Ed Sheeran would be really funny. Yeah, but you know what? Listen, Call of Duty now, I could guarantee you the new skins coming out, guaranteed you're going to have Doom Guy, you're going to have Master Chief. Guaranteed, those are coming. 100%. I mean, if they could green light Nicki Minaj and Cheech and Chong, 100%, I can't. Why wouldn't they have a Master Chief skin, or why wouldn't they have a Doom Guy skin? They own them now, right?
I think they have people in charge that would be doing that. Man, I hope they do.
Sure. They also own Tony Hawk. I mean, I wouldn't be upset to see Tony Hawk on a skateboard with a machine gun.
They're not gonna do that.
Why? It'd be funny. He does like a 360 ollie flip and then shoots you in the face. I mean, that's kind of funny.
57-year-old Tony Hawk. Yeah, I don't know. What the heck kind of show are we doing today?
I'm having a good time, man. The chat's having a laugh. Listen, let me tell you something. The chat is having a laugh. All right, so you know what? We're doing all right. But anyways, let's talk about serious business now.
Oh no, let's not do that. We appreciate you guys. Meg's right. We really do appreciate
Dark.
you.
Thank you, Frosted Fury. Joanna Dark skin. That'd be dope. I'd totally be in on that. Yes, do that. Do all of those things.
Matt Houston just dropped a Xbox Live key for 500 atoms in Fallout 76. Nice. Yep. And welcome Stephen Mewtwo to the early access. Became a channel member. DMs me quite frequently, asking me questions here and there. So shout out to all of you guys. All right, Matt,
Matt the Golden. Get better, dude. He's been in the hospital since Saturday with a fractured left arm. Get better, man. And we're glad. Listen, we're glad you're listening to the show, man. And we wish you all the best and all the best healings.
Yeah, I've only had a fractured bone. I've never broke anything, but I know how painful just fracturing my thumb right here. It hurts so bad. I mean, it's broken, right? Still counts.
Yeah. Gears of War. It looks like it's like Triceratops. Marcus and Domskin. Yeah, that's happening 100%. 100%. Now that E-Day has been announced and you've got everything. Oh, by the way, speaking of E-Day, are we going to bring cigars back into the game, or are we just going to be a bunch of pussies?
So, cigars?
Yeah, didn't they smoke cigars in the original 3, and then like by 4, no one was smoking cigars anymore?
In
like
Gears?
Some of the grunts and stuff like that. I want cigars.
I forgot that was a whole thing where the cigar smoking.
I smoke cigars, and you know what? If you want to go back to E-Day, let's not be a bunch of pussies and bring him back.
This message brought to you by MAG and this Federation for Better Smoking.
Yeah,
that was
they were smoking doobies. Yeah, can you imagine that? It's like, bro, what are these things coming out of the ground? I don't know, man, but this stuff is really strong. Yeah. Those were groundhogs, Marcus. They were groundhogs, and you killed them with a chainsaw.
The war hasn't even popped off yet. I don't want to see any more winter. I'm really looking for. We're going to talk about Gears as well today. There's some new stuff that. Before we get into that, do you see this long dissertation by a pretty nice guy on Twitter who said that he had written proof that PlayStation wasn't a third-party publisher because people like Oh No It's Alex have been covering the gaming news, saying that because PlayStation has put most of their prominent games on Steam, they're a third-party publisher. They're now going to be putting not only Lego, I just want to call it Lego Aloy, on the Switch. I think PlayStation knows full well, Mag, that when this Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever it is gets announced, they're going to be picking and choosing what also launches on the Switch. What are your thoughts on PlayStation
absolutely
being third party? What's up, Fonz?
Yeah, what's up, Fonz? I see you there, brother. I think that's a good idea. And it's a good idea because Kirk Adams, what's up, dude? I think it's a great idea because, listen, you're going to maximize profit, especially on some older IPs. The Switch 2, whatever the hell it's going to be called, is going to be a little bit stronger. I think closer to like a PS4, right? In terms of strength, or a PS4 Pro.
I think so.
They could go back and put a lot of their back catalog games on there. Why not? Right? And then get people the same thing like Xbox was doing with some of the other legacy titles, get them on the Switch, let them play the games, like release them there. And then if you do not want to release the new ones on the Switch 2, which obviously they wouldn't be able to run, say, hey, listen, you guys enjoyed that? Why don't you get yourself a PS5 Pro or a PS6, whatever, in the eventuality, and you could play the new fill in the blank, right? I don't see any problem with it. I said the same thing about Xbox. I'm going to say the same thing about PlayStation. I don't care where you put the games as long as I get to play quality. I don't care where it is. Whether it's on PC, whether it's on Xbox, or whether it's on PlayStation. I'm just happy that there are studios out there making some great games. That's all I care about. And at the end of the day, if they're making a lot of money, great, wonderful. You know what? That's great for two reasons. One, it keeps them afloat and keeps more games coming, right? Because that benefits us in the end. Because they make more money, well, then they're going to keep producing more games so that we spend more, so that they make more. And that'll keep a steady flow of great games coming to us, the consumers. And the other reason is that there's smaller chances outside of the AI situation that people will get to keep their jobs. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. This is like a it's up and up, I think, across the board. I do not think that PlayStation will ever put their other, like let's just say theoretically Last of Us 3 becomes a thing, okay? 5 years from now, whatever the hell. Okay. That becomes a thing. You're not going to see that on Xbox day one. You're not going to see that on PC day one. I still think that'll be exclusive to the console, the PS6 console for a specific period of time, and then on from there. But very similar to Xbox, I can see them dropping previous games onto these consoles in order to bring A, more life to them, and B, maximize profit. Why not?
I don't think you're going to see any of their games come to Xbox, but they're definitely going to put most things on PC.
And Switch. And Nintendo, I can see that. Older games?
The Switch thing we can't really say right now other than, good educated guesses, because once we know what their next console is on Nintendo, then we'll start to see PlayStation go. Because I think PlayStation already knows what Nintendo has ready, because they're already probably planning what their roadmap is going to be as they pick and choose a game here or there to go on Nintendo Switch. Because I don't know when Nintendo's supposed to announce that, but I just don't think you're going to see any games come to Xbox. That's not the way it's going to go. I'm kind of losing my train of thought here because
didn't Nintendo announce the Switch in November of whatever year it came out, and then it came out in the March after, like 5 months later?
April.
Yeah,
March?
So it was like a 5 month. I think it was a 5 month window. I remember that pretty specifically. Like it was around the late October, early November. Someone in the chat 100% know. And then 5 months later it launched. So I could see them. They'll talk about it this year, sometime around Halloween ish. Yeah, I guess.
I remember now I remember what I was going to say.
What's up?
That the majority of PlayStation's games that they've announced or that we've been told they're working on are launching on PC day and date. Because I think they have like 6 games announced, and then the other 2 are Death Stranding and Wolverine. The rest are all on PC. because the rest are all games as a service titles. Now they have something coming from Santa Monica, and Sucker Punch is working on something. Maybe it's Tsushima 2, but those games will be only on PlayStation 5 first. But as it stands right now, the majority of their games in their roadmap are coming to PC same time. So it's a big major change. I want to talk about
I was going to say, I even heard rumors. I mean, it's just a rumor, but it might not account for anything. But there was even talk about Killzone making a comeback. And I could absolutely see Killzone launch day and date on PC because it's a multiplayer game, right? I mean, okay, there's obviously a campaign involved, but I can absolutely see them do the same thing they did with Helldivers 2 and launch it on PC, on PlayStation, and then just off you go, day one.
I mean, that's a good point, Mag. What's the difference between Helldivers, which is a IP they own, and Killzone is another IP they own? Like, I guess you could say, why wouldn't they? And at this point, why wouldn't anyone launch their games on as many platforms as fits their business model? I want to talk about what Colin Moriarty said.
Sure.
And I know people like to play and pick sides, but what he said was, Sea of Thieves is dominating on PlayStation Network, which is really bad news if you're someone who doesn't want more Xbox games coming to PS5. The test was a meteoric success, and the die is cast. You should expect many more Xbox games on PlayStation 5. That's as obvious as the day is long. Now, when I saw this, I replied that it was too bad that Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, and Grounded didn't do as well on PSN as Sea of Thieves did. Because in my opinion, they're better games. Well, I don't think Pentiment's a better game.
I'm shocked.
But Hi-Fi Rush is definitely better than Sea of Thieves.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Right.
I thought, like, if I were betting, well, I am a betting man. If I were betting on this, I would put black chips on Hi-Fi Rush over Sea of Thieves, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I am shocked that Sea of Thieves took off the way it did on PlayStation.
Aren't they both like $40 games?
I think so. They're all reduced in price.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're not full price games. But not $70. But I was shocked. I thought Hi-Fi Rush would have been like a shoe-in for that. You know what I mean? For that, like, sort of double A. Yeah, it seemed like the kind of thing. Yeah, I didn't think that Sea of Thieves would have been the game that did what it did. But hey, you don't know unless you try, right? So I mean, you throw the line out to the sea, and you don't know what fish is going to bite. So it is what it is, right? So it's interesting.
I just think it's funny. Sorry, Meg. I think it's funny that he looks at the success of Sea of Thieves, but ignores that the other three games they put on. As far as I know, I can't say about Grounded because I don't know how well Grounded did on PlayStation, but I'm pretty sure that Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment did nothing. Nothing that was measurable on PlayStation.
Well, it's not a surprise, though, Colt, but you know what? Even on the Xbox side of things, and I've called this out before, for Hellblade and for Hi-Fi Rush, if you actually go to the achievements, even finishing like the third boss on Hi-Fi Rush is what it was. I'm not sure now, but the last time I saw it was a little while ago. I think it was the fourth boss or whatever. It was a rare achievement. So that means the majority of people didn't even finish the game.
Yeah.
So, and then so when you look at something like that, even on the Xbox side, when it was launched on Game Pass, a lot of people enjoyed the game, but it also didn't set the world on fire there either. Because I think a lot of people looked at it, played it for a few minutes, and like, all right, whatever. And then, like I said, just go look at the achievement percentage. Just go look at the achievement percentage. Same thing with Hellblade. The third area is like, I think I sent it to you. 13% finished it. That means that people didn't even get past the third area. So, you know what I mean? And so like I in that respect, you'd be like, all right, well, give it a shot on PlayStation. And they gave it a shot on PlayStation. Didn't really take off there either. And like I said, that doesn't speak about the game. The game is a quality game. It's a lot of fun. I love it. I love the everything bouncing, all the music, everything else. It was really cool. The graphics were outstanding. They were so cool. I loved it. Great game. Fun.
I think Grounded's better than all of them combined. I know that Sea of Thieves...
And I know Grounded is your game. And I know you played that with the family.
Higher rated, too.
Higher rated. You played a lot of it with your family and whatever else. Mm-hmm. But hey, you know what the thing is? At the end of the day, we can't always predict what the masses are going to enjoy. You know what I mean? It's like everything, like movie, music, video games, whatever the hell it is you got out there. Say, oh man, this is gonna be a hot song, and then it comes out on the radio and just doesn't gain any traction. And then all of a sudden, some lousy whatever song comes on, and all of a sudden the whole world loves it. I'm looking at you, Macarena. You know what I mean? From 1999. You know
Or
what I'm
Mambo
saying? And all of
number
a sudden-
5. Frick, I hate that
Hey,
song.
hey,
Hate it.
Mambo number 5 is hot, man.
Oh, gosh, I hate you.
I love that
Nothing
song.
will make
It's
me
so much
reach for my stereo to change it so fast in that song.
Oh, that's a fun song.
Hey, but you love
anyways,
it, and I'm happy for you.
In all seriousness, like we just don't know what's going to take off. So the thing is, you keep experimenting, and Microsoft is going to do it. I think Sony's going to do it, and they'll say, "Hey, throw these games over there after they do a little development on it, and they, whatever. See what happens. See how things go. Like I said, you throw the line out, you see what comes back in. Man, you never know.
Yeah, let me say
It's
something
worth
on
a
that.
shot. Yeah.
Let me say that, because that's really good that Mag says throw the line out there and see what's going to work for PlayStation from Xbox Studios, right? Who was it in the chat? I got to scroll up. Hold on. I love to give props to people. Nublax said, those 3 are also pretty niche games, laugh out loud. Absolutely. Like, think about this.
That's true.
We're going to throw our pirate simulator game that absolutely bombed at launch has become fantastic. Now, when it sounds like I'm downplaying Sea of Thieves, I already know the game is brilliant now, but the first 2+ years, it wasn't, right? So you've got Grounded, the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids game that did really well on Xbox. It's kind of a funky game to throw out there on PlayStation. Pentiment, which is like, I couldn't play Pentiment for longer than an hour. It's not for me whatsoever. And Hi-Fi Rush is the only one, Mag, in that list where it's like, and I said it when it came out, like, PlayStation guys are going to want to get a hold of this game on Game Pass, PC, or just buy an Xbox, right? I said that at launch. So to see the best one being Hi-Fi Rush, not even track or chart on PlayStation, makes me think that Xbox goes, let's throw 4 wild cards. We're just going to chuck this hand out in the water, and we're going to see.
Yeah.
And Sea of Thieves was the breakout hit. So I think it's foolish for Colin to say, look at Sea of Thieves, it's over for you Xbots that don't want games to come to PlayStation, because if I look at all the games Xbox put out over the past generation and a half, are there any of them that would just take off on PlayStation like Sea of Thieves did? Maybe not. Super Lucky's Tale, Recore, Quantum Break, Rise Son of Rome.
You know what?
What?
I know this is going to piss off a lot of people, but you know what would
That's why we're here.
I was thinking about it today. Do you know what would absolutely be monstrous? No, not old games. I'm talking about new games.
This says Redfall.
I think that Gears would be monstrous on PlayStation. I think it would do really, really well.
They don't have anything like that.
They did back on the PS3 era, but it's been 2 generations. The closest thing would be Resistance and Killzone. I know it's like one of the first person, and like they were, but you know what I mean. The perspectives were different, but I mean it's still the same vibe. I would say that those 2 were the closest that they had, but I think that Gears would be. I know it's like sacrilege for some people, but expect it, folks. But either way, I think that like a Gears E-Day eventually would be a huge hit, and I don't think Microsoft is going to ignore that. Because if I'm thinking about it, and some other people in the chat are probably thinking about it, some other people in the chat are thinking they want to smash my face into a wall for saying that, go ahead, whatever. But it would be huge.
Let me back you up, Mag. What Mag is saying, that Xbox has such incredible games coming to their platform, why wouldn't they kill on PlayStation? Because PlayStation has nothing like most of what Xbox games have. I know you're just talking about Gears. You're talking about Gears specifically, but
I think it'd be huge on PlayStation.
Look at how huge Forza Horizon is. If PlayStation got a Forza Horizon game, they would leech out their eyeballs for something that great. They haven't had a great open world racing game ever, unless you count Crew Motorfest, which is fantastic. Like
the Crew is fun. Oh, not the Crew. The MotorStorm. Was it MotorStorm?
Oh, MotorStorm. MotorStorm was fun back in the day. Yeah,
from
Crew
like
Motorfest last
from
year
like
was good.
two generation, whatever the hell it was. I don't know. It was a long time ago. That's all I remember. It's at least 10 to 12 years ago of MotorStorm. Hargeet will remember. He's in the chat somewhere. Hargeet remembers all the most random crap I've ever. Like every time I say something, I'm like, someone in the chat. Hargeet be like, "Yeah, I came out the same." Like he knows it instantly.
What year? Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, he was the one who pointed out the Switch, the launch when I said it's somewhere around October, November. And he says revealed October, released in March. So I was like, okay, well there you go. So, but yeah, I like. Hey, And, we're not going to get into that discussion. We've already talked about it a million times on a million shows about games going over there. I'm just saying I think it would be huge. That's all I'm saying.
My ending to this conversation, Mag, is the catch-all is every platform would explode in sales by having someone else's unique content on there. Like if Nintendo gave something to Xbox or ported it over, it would do incredible, and vice versa, because I think each platform, really when you step back, and this is why Mag and I talk about it, they all kind of have their own thing. And there isn't a lot of crossover. Like Xbox doesn't have the sad dad third person type of thing. PlayStation doesn't have some of the visceral and immersive games that Xbox has, and nobody has what Nintendo does except for Astrobot, which is fantastic. It's going to be a great game, which leads me to great super chats, and we'll move on to the next one after that. We've got Udana Kizada. Thank you so much for chatting in. He says X&C is giving away 5 gears, fan art, Ben Kenobi, and that blue number coins. They're working together on it. Stick around for the show. Like, subscribe, participate. They are nice. Look at him doing the little business there. He also says, thank you for the super, Yodani. Shout out to the Nissan Altima drivers in the chat. That blue number, those dents in your bumper are patina, and the clear coat coming off his character. She doesn't drive an Altima. Stop it. Stop it off. Face 23 Brooklyn, New York. This is the one I needed to read, which was topical. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. It's in orange, and it looks great. He said, if that was the case that Sony is third party, why are they not putting Astrobot on the Switch? Do you want to answer that one, or do you want me to?
I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe they just need a better hardware for it.
Okay, that's a good reason.
That's the only thing I could think of. I bet you if there was a Switch 2 out there, I could absolutely see them porting it over in the next year or so.
Well, give Face 23 Brooklyn, New York the reason why Lego Aloy is coming to Switch. I don't know if you know the reason or what you think the reason
I don't.
is.
I actually don't know. It just seems bizarre to me, but I understand the reasoning. But yeah, carry on. What do you guys think?
It is kind of interesting. Their reasoning is that they said the Switch was the perfect fit for this Lego game in the Horizon universe.
So why wasn't PS4 a perfect fit?
Isn't that wonderful, Mag?
Well, I know they want people to buy the PS5. I get it.
That's why.
But I mean, you still have like 60% of people still playing, or whatever the percent. I think it was around 60-something% are still playing on a PS4.
Somebody ran the numbers, Mag, and said, we'll sell enough PS5s to make up for the customers that we're not going to have on our bigger install base, which is PS4. I think it's funny. It's like, go ahead and put it on the Switch, but 60% or 50% of our users on PS4, F them. We want to do slimy platform things.
I see that they're trying to push towards a PS5. I get it. But the thing is, we live in a different world now. PS4s you could buy for like $100 now. You know what I mean? For kids, whatever else. People that are still playing from the ones that they owned from a couple years ago. PS5s are still expensive. Xboxes are still very expensive. All right, both consoles are expensive. Did you see when they're showing at the showcase? Like, are you you know what I mean? Like they were full price. For Xbox, they're full price.
Yeah.
Full price. PlayStation, still full price. They got a PS5 Pro. That's going to be expensive. There's that on top of that, right? So people can't afford stuff right now. They can't even afford to eat. Yeah. So people are just keeping what they got and whatever else, and they divulge in whatever media they can get their hands on and whatever, and have some fun and blah 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 blah. But yeah, people are keeping that older hardware because what's the point of upgrading if you could still play all those games, or not the majority of those games on the PS4? But to block them out seemed a little bit strange to me. I think they'll walk that back. I think they'll walk that back.
I think they should. I think they should put a port of the Lego Aloy game on PS4. But
I think it should also go to Xbox.
Of the Lego game?
All Lego games are on Xbox except for that one. Wouldn't that be a little weird?
Yeah, but the IP belongs to PlayStation.
So what? They can make a fortune off it. They can make 70% a publisher fee like Microsoft is going to do.
That's true.
And sell it on sell it on Xbox, $70.
Meg's not wrong. You're going to see some changes. It's going to take a little while, but you're going to see changes where more games are more fluid, because in the end, they're never going to make the money they made during COVID. Bit for Naldi, thank you for the 2, says, a little bit of magica in my life.
Hey, man, it's a hot song. What do you want? I don't make the rules. Anyways, I think that Lego Horizon should be on Xbox as well. Just my thought. It's a Lego game, and every Lego game has been always multi-platform. and let Sony get their extra cut of the profit.
Mag's not wrong because
who's it hurting? It's already on the Switch, for Christ's sake. Put it on Xbox. You might make an extra million.
I'm not gonna sit here and beg for Lego Aloy to go on Xbox because I can buy it on my PS5 or I could play it on the Switch. We
have everything. You and I have not everybody has what we have, Colt. And I'm not saying that like in an arrogant way. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people here in the chat that probably have more than one console, right?
I mean, no. We are part of the hardcore.
Yeah.
Right? Us, people in the chat. The casuals are not listening to the show. They don't know who Mag is. They don't know who Colt is. What? They don't know who Randall Bohr is. They don't know who Jez Corden is. They don't know who, you know what I mean? They don't know who Colin Moriarty is. All they know is that they got a box in their living room and they buy games for it.
Do they know who Jeff Keighley is?
No, they definitely. Well, unless you watch The Haunted Mansion on Disney. You know he was one of the severed heads in The Haunted Mansion? Did you not know that? That's a little fun fact. So, you know that in the movie The Haunted Mansion, when they the Muppets Haunted Mansion, they got all the Muppets and then whatever else, and Jeff Keighley's severed head is sitting on a pedestal talking. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. Go IMDb it. You can check it out. And Jeff Keighley's sitting right there. He's one of the severed heads that are talking in the Haunted Mansion Muppet movie. Amazing, by the way.
And he's like, really, Snowbike Mike? 4 out of 10, really? In the jar. Really?
Anyways, put it everywhere.
I was going to say something to you. Oh, here's what I was going to say.
Yeah, go.
You make it so hard for me. It's already bad enough that I don't... You start talking about severed heads, and I don't know where I am. So and I'm not port begging for Lego Aloy and Xbox. I could care less. It really comes down to I just can't play those games anymore. There's been like 15. I can't play them anymore. I've played them so much that the fun is completely gone for me.
All right.
I love lots of games, but how about this? Sorry.
Yep.
You sell Lego Aloy on Xbox, and then the people who play there are like, man, this Horizon world's kind of cool. I want to play Horizon Zero Dawn or Forbidden West. What do they have to do?
PC or PlayStation.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I just think this exclusivity thing.
They're on both.
They're what?
No. They're still going to have it because you're still going to have a reason to buy hardware.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I know some like Microsoft is. It's always going to be an option for Microsoft, but they're moving away from it. Whatever. They're doing their own thing, and that's fine. But the other companies are still working on hardware. I mean, they're still reliant on you purchasing the hardware, and of course, that's a catalyst for the software, right? Yeah. So I understand how that's going to work. So there's always going to be some form of exclusivity. But I'm saying for things that are already out there in the wild, whatever else, they've already, whatever profit they've made is basically have dried up at this point. Start moving it around. And start showing the goods elsewhere, and you get people interested for 2 reasons. A, you're squeezing a little more life out of it, and then B, you might entice them to buy a secondary piece of hardware. Yeah. So someone's got an Xbox at home, and all of a sudden they see PlayStation for 50% off a couple of years from now or whatever. They might go buy one to go play the other Aloy, and that's how they do it. And same thing with Switch and with PC and whatever else. And Xbox is going to do the same thing. I know I talked about how Gears is going to would do really well on PlayStation, but I personally think I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I'm not going to say it, but I don't think E-Day is going to be going to PlayStation day and date. It'll be going to PC and Xbox, and then maybe down the road, whatever they decide to do, that's their business. But it'll stay there so that it will entice you to go to the Xbox or PC ecosystem to play it.
Yeah, and
it's still important, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, Mag, you're right. There will be some form of exclusivity, and I may have gotten this wrong in the past over the past month or two, but I really feel like Gears is not coming to PlayStation anytime soon, and even if it does make sense. And there was one more thing I was going to say. It doesn't seem to be that. I know the economy is rough, but buying a console shouldn't be that major of a stretch if you really want to play a few games. I mean, when you go to buy a PC, it's a lot more money. So I think people have more flexibility than ever before, just as long as they can afford it. But I don't want to talk about PlayStation much longer, other than people are peddling around this Wolverine demo this weekend, which seems to be part of what we saw a few months ago. But it looks absolutely awful, and I do not believe that it's real.
I don't want to watch any of those things.
Have you seen it?
I don't want to watch. Yeah, no. I didn't watch that. I didn't watch the new one. I saw the original one. And I was just like, no, I watched for a few minutes and I'm like, listen, I don't want to see any game. I don't care who makes it. I don't want to see any game in that state unless I was actually physically working on the game. I want to see it when it's almost done. I want to see a polished product. I don't want to see something that is like, extremely bare bones. I saw somebody, posted a thing. Oh, we got some early footage of Spider-Man 3. I'm like, I don't care. When the game comes out,
I saw 2 seconds.
I'll look at it. But until then, it's same thing. Like I don't want to see Gears E-Day until it's ready to be shown proper. I want to see polished gameplay. I don't want to see, pre-alpha whatever footage that's so rough that like, you know what I mean? That spoils the experience of what you're going to see. Nobody wants to see behind the scenes of a movie being filmed. You know how awful that is? How many movie sets I've been on that I've seen, and it looks terrible. When you're watching it, you're like, this sucks. And then you watch the trailer, you're like, holy crap, that was awesome.
Bro,
because you want to see the movie. You want to see the magic of making the game, making the movie. Yeah. I don't want to see how the sausage is made all the time.
We went to the Paramount tour last year, the Paramount Studios, and we went into one of those in what do they call the big sound stages, and they had a crime lab office for some TV show. And I walked in, and it looks everything, Mag, looks so chintzy. I'm like, how does this look good on a TV show? Like the computers and the tables and like all the props looked so corny. But when you've got the camera and the lens and the lighting and everything, it looks phenomenal. Yeah, I don't want to see Grand Theft Auto 6.
I don't want to see. I mean, I've seen it. I saw Grand Theft Auto because I was so curious, and I was just like, all right, well, let me see what I'm dealing with here. So this was like 2 years ago when we first heard that it was going to be a female protagonist. I'm like, all right, let me see what she looks like. So someone sent me the footage. I watched it, and I was like, okay, that's it. But after that, I don't care. I said, I'll wait till the trailer comes out, the real one from Rockstar, because I want to see a polished product.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I care about.
So speaking of polished products, and Todd Howard is a polished product. No, he was actually talking about Fallout 5 and Elder Scrolls 6 because, as you know, Matty Plays interviewed him on his own channel, which I think Mr. Matty Plays has about 800,000, almost 1 million subscribers. This is a huge watermark in someone's career that doesn't work for a big games journalist company. Like this is a big deal. And he interviewed Todd Howard and asked him a lot of pointed questions about Fallout 5 and the upcoming Elder Scrolls 6. I don't know if you caught some of this, Mag. I want to talk about it for a second.
Yep.
Matty did a good job of like, hey, I'm going to ask these questions, and I know you can't answer them, but it's good to ask them, which I thought was cool. I think Todd was a pretty good sport about them. What did you glean from the interview when it comes to the future of Fallout? We could talk about that. I'm not sure how much I listened to the whole thing, but how much you retained from it.
I think that the one thing with Todd, I this is going to sound not nice, but I really don't mean it that way. I tune out a lot of what he says because he does a lot of stream of conscious thinking. And I think it's because he's constantly on the go up here that he's like, I'm thinking of this, I'm thinking of this, I'm thinking of this. Oh, I'm going to implement that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then when he speaks, you kind of get that sort of stream of consciousness coming out of him where he's saying all these ideas, all these thoughts. This is what I'm going to do. This is where we're heading. This is what I'm thinking about doing and whatever else. And then to be able to actually put it down on paper and get something tangible that he'd be like, okay, we're going to do this. It seems to take a lot longer than most other people because I think he's trying to wrangle in all these thoughts like wild cattle, right? And then you have to. There's a reality to development where they're going to have to take all of this and be able to funnel it down one area. And to do all that, it requires sacrifice. It requires cutting, a lot of cutting room floor stuff so that you be able to say, okay, we need a focused product. And I think that someone who's got that mind the way he does, it comes across as very unfocused. That's my interpretation. And as
they're working on 2 games right now, so...
Right, and so it seems like and I'm not expecting them anytime soon. Nowhere near this generation, not even damn close. I would expect them towards the end of next generation, to be quite honest. So I don't think. I really don't think you're gonna see. Elder Scrolls. I know they showed the title however many years ago. I think maybe towards year 2 or 3 of the next generation, you might see 1 or 2 of those games.
Okay. So I have some contradictory response to what you have to say.
All right, these are just my thoughts. I'm not saying that's a fact. I'm just saying that's what I think might happen by the time.
That's what I'm asking you.
by the time the game actually comes out, I still think at least 4 years from now.
Okay. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Mag. With Elder Scrolls 6, their court documents say it's somewhere around 2026 or 2028. So I would lean on the side as well as you as 2028, which puts us in 4 years from now, right?
Sure.
One of the things Maddie asked, and I love what you said about all the scatter stuff, because they are working on honestly, 3 major projects, and we'll talk about those.
Have they really started on Fallout 5 though, or is it still in pre-viz?
Yeah, they're still in pre-viz and white paper for Fallout 5.
Yeah, okay, so that it's not even Sorry.
So yeah, let's start with that. One of the pointed questions was, what are you going to do about Fallout 5? Are you going to? He didn't ask this one as specifically as other people have. I can't remember if it was Ryan McCaffrey asked about it. Maybe he asked Phil. Yeah, I think he asked Phil. Are you gonna let someone else take on a spinoff of Fallout in the Fallout 4 Starfield engine? Maddie didn't ask that specifically, but Todd sort of answered in that direction. So he said there's no rush for Fallout because they look at it like and if you didn't watch the interview, you're getting a little bit of info. If you did, you're getting a repeat. Sorry, I'll keep it brief. But he said Todd feels like there's no rush to make another Fallout 5 because he looks at it like a franchise. Like, you have these little games and you have these ongoing games and you have the existing games and people get enough Fallout wherever they want. But I don't agree with that, Mag. I'm like, it doesn't need to be Obsidian because they're super busy on 3 games as well. But can someone just grab that engine and make another Fallout game? And I think Todd's answer basically was, I'm not letting it go. I'm not letting someone else have it, is what I got from that.
Right. The thing in regards to what you were saying is it's actually contradictory to what my original thoughts were of strike while the iron's hot when it comes to Fallout, because the show did well. You got people going back to the series now, playing Fallout 76, playing Fallout 4. Even my son, who's a hardcore pony, even he asked about Fallout because he obviously hears kids talking about it, whatever, right? Like, he hears it in the stables where he lives with my wife, ponies, the 2 of them, right? So, but anyways, in all seriousness, I think that he did say he was talking about how people are hungry for more and whatever, and there's no rush. He's not wrong in regards to, you don't want to rush a product because you don't want to, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
I think that substantial updates to Fallout 76 is a good idea. In the meantime, you have a team working on that. Keep doing that. And then, yes, absolutely, you want to release Fallout 5, but you want it to be a quality product. So I think that as long as it's a quality product, people will wait for it because, again, no one's sitting around with a candle in the window waiting for one game.
No.
Like, between now and Fallout 5, you're going to play 150 awesome games. So
we're going to talk about just this year, too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And, it's just, you're going to be doing all that stuff. So, it's not like you're sitting around waiting for the one game. Let them do their thing. As long as it's quality, I don't care if it takes 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever. That's it. You know what I mean? That's it. Let them do their thing. By the way, True 77 Colt, read that, please.
I was writing it back. True 77 says we need a MAG member emoji, and
I think we do.
I'm going to draw one up. I would love to do that with the
that'd be really fun.
With the hat, the glasses, the little goatee beard, and the yelling face. I might ask you to send me. I saw what you said. Sure. I might ask you to send me a picture. Have your wife take a picture of you.
Absolutely.
45-degree angle, yelling.
Sure.
Eyes bugging out, and we'll cartoon it up. I love to draw cartoons and caricatures. I would love to do that.
I'm down with that. So, don't rush the game.
Hold that.
Yes, sure.
Hold on, don't rush. Shout out to True 77, who lots of people said the code word at the end of my very long video last week, but True 77 knew what Lukather was, and it made my heart so happy that he knows who Steve Lukather is. But yeah, shout out to him. So yeah, don't rush it. You're saying, go ahead.
Well, and also Todd did say this towards the end of it, and he didn't say this in a bad way. He was just saying, the next Fallout game could be a long way away because he says he wants to make sure, the same old spiel that they're going to give, right? It's like a sports star when they interview him. What do you think about tonight's game? Well, we gave 110%, and we did everything as a team. The same old line. He said the same thing. He's like, we just want to get it right, make sure that everything is doing what we're doing.
Hit the ground running. We'll be be all on the same music page. Like all the stuff you hear in a Teams meeting at work.
It's basically, he said the exact same thing, like literally quote. He's like, we just want to get it. We just wanted to get it right and make sure that everything we're doing in a franchise, whether it's Elder Scrolls, Fallout, or now Starfield, that those become meaningful moments for everybody who loves those franchises as much as we do.
That's a really good thing to say, but I also hear,
no, it's fine. It just means that you're not seeing it till 2030.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of read into it both ways. That's a really good thing to say. And he's like, why would you push us to rush out? Maybe he was saying, it's kind of contradictory, but maybe he's saying, why have us push out or rush out a 2 to 3 year dev cycle on a quick Fallout when we could just wait until everybody comes together and create something that's worthy of being called Fallout 5? Him knowing full well that Fallout New Vegas was an 18-month well, I mean, back then games took 2 years, but they did that in 18 months and they knocked it out of the park. People love it. And Todd's on record saying he loves that game as well. I mean, they published it. So
at the end of the day is, focus on Elder Scrolls right now. That's what you're, okay, go ahead.
Well, what are you expecting of Elder Scrolls? And before I let you loose, and I hate when people are like, let me ask you a question, but let me give my opinion for 19 minutes first. I know that Elder Scrolls is going to look... Sorry.
I was serious. I was being serious. Yeah, go ahead. No, go for it.
I do it sometimes, but I've been on shows where they absolutely obliterate the guests. Let me ask you a question. One day when I was born, I feel like Elder Scrolls 6 is going to look fantastic. If you think of the 1.5 step and 1.5 times step and he said this in the interview. I'm doing it already. Okay. I think Elder Scrolls is going to look really great. I'm a little bit worried that when it finally comes out, people are going to feel like that's dated. What are your thoughts? There.
It depends on how bloody long they take to do it. If you're going to take 20 years like Starfield, then sure, then you're going to have a bit of an issue there because as you keep progressing year after year, new technology is coming up behind you. And they're like, oh, well, now we got to switch to this engine. Oh, well, now we got to switch to this engine and this and that, whatever, and this graphics processor and whatever else, and blah, 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 blah. And they have to do all these different things in order to keep up with the times. I understand that. Just do yourself a favor. Don't take 20 years to release the game. You know what I mean? Focus, make it fantastic. And you know that another thing too is that there's something that like some people just don't understand. It's not an arms race. Okay, like the U.S. and Russia and the Cold War. It's like the big arms race. Oh, I got more nuclear missiles. Yeah, we have more nuclear missiles. You don't have to turn around and say Elder Scrolls is going to be 187 times larger than
Vanguard.
Yeah, like you don't need to do that. Make a quality focused product. You can even make the map smaller, for Christ's sake, smaller than Skyrim. I don't care. Just make it incredible.
Absolutely.
And people won't care as long as it's good. Like Grand Theft Auto. We're going to make it bigger, and we're going to make it bigger. And then all of a sudden, they like get to Grand Theft Auto 7, and they're like, Grand Theft Auto 7's map is going to be larger than the entire Milky Way. And I'm like, we don't need that. I don't need to ride
Grand Theft Auto in
desert.
Space.
Yeah. Yeah, with the silly walking.
I got to shoehorn something in what you said. It's so perfect. Sure. Mag's saying that Elder Scrolls does not have to, it's not an arms race against other RPGs or other fantasy games. Elder Scrolls stands on its own. It can come out damn when it feels like it, just like Grand Theft. I'm glad you said Grand Theft Auto after that, because Rockstar doesn't compete with the rest of the world. They just make the best thing they can, and when it's ready, they put it out. And I think putting out Fallout 5 when it's dang well ready, like Todd said, or Elder Scrolls, there's no reason for them to say it's going to be come out next to Veilguard, Dragon Age, and it's going to be bigger and better and more purple.
Just don't. Yeah, no kidding. Just don't. Just make it good.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. Like for example, I'm not saying it has to be as small as this. Like Assassin's Creed Mirage was considered a smaller experience, right? Because it wasn't as big as Valhalla, and it wasn't as big as Odyssey and whatever else, which were great games. I love Assassin's Creed Odyssey is my favorite Assassin's Creed game of all time. Very close second place, I would put Black Flag and, of course, anything from Ezio. Assassin's Creed 2 to be specific. But anyways, the point is that the maps were getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm like, guys, you don't need to make it bigger. Just make a great, fantastic, like a Mirage was a tighter product. It was a smaller map, and it was a great experience, and I had a blast doing it.
Still seemed big.
It did still seem big, and I still put in 35, 40 hours into that game. And I'm not saying it has to be as small as that, but you don't have to keep getting more and more ambitious to the point where your product becomes convoluted. That's what I was trying to get at.
You know what we're missing over the past 10 years, Mag, is knowing the map world. Like we used to know back during like Gen 7, back during the Xbox 360, PS3 era, where by the time you were way into the game, you knew every street in a Grand Theft Auto.
Every street. I knew every map. Street. Right? I could be like, if you need whatever this power up, go to the nightclub on Flamingo and Pelican Avenue and whatever.
You know what I mean? Cloak of virginity from the nightclub.
Yes, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you knew exactly where all this stuff is. These maps have become so large and convoluted, and like you know what I mean. It's just you lose. You're like, I don't know where to go. I have to go to the map, put a waypointer, and then just go there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and like make it familiar with us. Like I understand. I mean, I played Skyrim as well. Okay, I understand. Like, there's nothing wrong with having experience the same size as Skyrim.
Hey, maybe Skyrim's kind of too big. I don't think I knew the whole map there at all. But
no, like I'm just saying as a template. Like you don't have to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then give us one of those stupid comparison maps where it's like, here's the map of Skyrim, and it shows the map of Skyrim, and then like, here's the map of Elder Scrolls 6. And it's like 875 times the size. I'm like, you don't need that. Just make it awesome and focus on it. Make a great quality product. It plays well, looks fantastic, and it's immersive. That's all I care about.
And it's a great way to stay in shape.
And it's a great way to stay in shape.
That's what Todd said about Shattered Space. Most of the content takes place on one planet, so you have this bespoke, cultivated location where they filled out everything you're going to do in the DLC. And instead of having this big open area where you don't know if there's going to be something to do there, Meg and I would love for games to get back to where it was like this great experience. In the chat, we got Happy Bomb, who's channel moderator, says, if you want a Gears coin, post a gear emoji in the chat. If you can find the gear emoji in the chat, post it. Our moderators will be keeping an eye out for sending 5 coin winners, and we will figure out how to get in contact. That'll usually either be by email and proof of life that it's really you. But I would love to give away this Gears coin. It's fantastically phenomenal. Starfield is another thing that Todd Howard talked about and said that they want to do major expansions and improvements and updates to the game every year. And he said that they didn't know when they made Skyrim that people would be playing it for 12 years. So they built this big world, and people have done all this stuff. Look at the Gears chats in the chat. It's amazing.
I see it. Yeah.
Skyrim. Did you listen to him talk about that?
RPGs of all time. Yeah, and it's like one of the most successful RPGs of all time. And I see what he's trying to do with Starfield. It didn't really click the same way that Skyrim did, but mind you, Skyrim also had. It had some issues, whatever else, but I mean, it wasn't. I don't know. It seemed to connect with a lot of people, but also don't forget that was number 5. That was part 5,
and people loved the other two.
Of a series, yeah. It was part 5 of a series, so it already had momentum going into it. By the way, True77 in the chat. He says, Mag, I live on the corner of Flamingo and Pelican Avenue. Is the power up in your house? It must be in your house, True77. That's where it is. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if you need that power up, just go to True77's house. He lives on the corner of Flamingo, and Pelican Avenue. That's where you can get it. Anyways,
I've been modding the heck
out of
Starfield
different.
Too.
He's gonna be. They're gonna continue working on Starfield, whatever else. It's gonna continue to have his cult following. I heard that it was like 14 million people passed by to check out the game at some point. Whatever. Did you see that today? They were talking about the numbers.
Yeah, 14 million with an average playtime of 40 hours amongst all 14 million people. Which is pretty good.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah, that means that
one
you
guy's
put
like,
some
that's how
time
many
into
people
it.
downloaded it. It's
Well,
not good like that. And I'm like, bro,
if the average is 40 hours, then that means that people are actually playing the game. So I mean, so like there are people playing it, and there's people getting into it. So if they keep supporting it, they keep doing the mods and everything else. That's not my scene. But hey, it is what it is. Keep it going. Keep supporting it. It's not my scene, man. I love RPGs. I'm not part of the modding community and all that stuff. I'm not a
the
PC
cool
guy
thing,
and all that.
Mag, about the mods, especially with Bethesda mods, where it's built into the game. You don't have to use a third-party program on PC to get your PC game modded. Like, you just go into the menu and everything. It just works.
It just works.
It kind of, but it's more accessible the way Bethesda does it. And so, like, any idiot like me can go, hey, this looks cool. Add, and some of it doesn't really work, and then you kind of work around it. But I got to ask you, Mag. I was having a great conversation, party chat the other night. Very few games. And audience, you're here with me and with Mag and I. Thank you so much. Hit the like button. You're having 666 people watching. Yes. Yes.
Number of the beast. Yes. Sorry.
Red War Fight is gonna like clip me when I was like this with my face, all looking all devilish. It's gonna be great. Shout out to him. We were having this conversation, Mag, that during the 360 PS3 era, I think more games blew us away and like really like resonated with us. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening in gaming. Like the full body experience, cinematic, great gameplay, great visuals, excellent gameplay loops. And then during the Xbox One, PS4 generation, and now I feel like we've been chasing the dragon. And I think if I look back, and I'll ask you this, Mag, I think it's very few games we've seen over the past, let's say 5 to 10 years that we can say, oh my gosh, that game blew me away. Outside of like Elden Ring or Dragon's Dogma 2. Like, I don't know, Mag, are there games that like blew you away? Like, look what we can do over the recent years? Do you know what I'm saying when I pose that question?
I would say that Gears Hivebusters did that for me. Naughty Dog did that for me with Uncharted 4 and then into Last of Us 2.
But Uncharted 4 was like a really great formula. It was already established from 2 in 2011.
Are you talking about like a completely original?
I'm just talking about like the experience where you're like, oh my gosh, everything is clicking. I can't believe like this world is so amazing, because I think we got a lot of repeat and a lot of rehashed ideas.
Oh, yeah. But you're going to get that the more the time goes on, though, because I mean, you've covered every genre: adventure, horror, shooter,
open world. Shooter, like, had a big reason. Open world really came into its own during the 2008s, 2010s, right?
It's how you tackle it. It's how you tackle the already existing formulas, right? Mm-hmm. It's how you tackle the already existing genres. It's the same thing with music. People could say, "Oh, we're experimenting with music and this and that. Oh, we're going to come up with this great thing." It's been done before. It's how you approach that and be able to put your own spin on something that's already been done a million times. Same thing with film, with TV shows. We've all seen a TV show. We've all seen a movie. But how are you going to make your movie that much more interesting? You got to be able to draw people in and whatever. And I think that certain companies have the chops to do that. I think that the Coalition has for Xbox. I think that Playground overall for Xbox. I think on the other side of the fence, I think that Naughty Dog does that for me. I'm talking about like first party stuff. I'm not talking about third party.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And like those kind of companies can do that thing. I would think that Skyrim, that Bethesda before they were part of Xbox. I'm not saying that whatever. I'm just saying when they were on their own, I think that Skyrim was like just a masterclass in RPG once they ironed out the bugs.
I mean, I think everything right.
Call of Duty, early Call of Duty reimagined what first-person shooting was like.
It wasn't just that, Mag. Call of Duty, when you talk about Modern Warfare in 2006 or 7.
Yeah, in Modern Warfare 2.
It was like
revolutionized
a movie. Like, yes. I remember...
the new Dooms, same thing.
Oh, yeah.
They took gore first-person shooters to another level of incredible, where you're like, holy crap, as you're ripping giant eyeballs out of big monsters' heads and this and that, whatever.
It
was visceral. It was incredible. And it was just like when the first Gears came out, way back in the 360, when the first Gears came out, nobody had seen anything like that. And what Cliff did for us was reinvent the third-person action adventure. So, like, you know what I mean? You're like, holy crap, what is this? I remember when I played Gears 1, I was so blown away. That sold Xboxes.
Yeah.
By the millions. Because it changed. So I would say that that's my list. That's 6 or 7 that I named there.
Oh yeah,
that's what I would say would be. And what you have to do now is, because we've seen everything, we've seen basically everything. There's only so much you could do. You're gonna have to make a compelling story with a great gameplay loop that people are going to be interested to keep playing. Dying Light 2, for example, Techland, they're masters at doing this first-person parkour. Is incredible. And like I said, I'm playing Dying Light 2 right now. I can get lost in there for like 2-3 hours without even blinking. And I'm like, oh my God, it's already whatever. It's already 2 o'clock. Holy crap. Whatever. Right. And so like, there's some people that just have it.
I forgot how great that was. And Dying Light 1 was like one of those moments where the Xbox One generation, I'm like, we've never had this. Like Mirror's Edge plus Dead Rising in first person. When I look back at games that have, what I wanted to get was the apex. Gaming hit its apex, I would say, in the 2010s for me. And I think a lot of people might agree. When I think about what Mass Effect did, what Borderlands did, like Borderlands took the Diablo formula and made it into I remember thinking of Borderlands like, this feels like Halo meets Mass Effect. I didn't know what to call it and my buddy's like, dude, it's Diablo in first person. I go, oh, I've never played Diablo. When I think about Mass Effect, I think about the first Fallouts in first person. Like, there were just big defining moments. And Mag sets up a really good narrative that Elder Scrolls 6, if it's going to come out in 4 years, it really needs to be half the size of Skyrim. And every location you go to, like, you should be able to play Elder Scrolls 6 and walk for a minute and a half and run into something that you're going to do for 20 to 30 minutes. And I think maybe when I think about Fallout 5, I don't want Fallout 4. I love so much, but it was a Fallout 3 like remaster in a lot of ways, even though it did some cool stuff. Fallout 5 needs to be this tight, cultivated location where it is just jam-packed with danger and discovery. And when I look at Xbox with Fable, Perfect Dark, and Gears E-Day, it looks like Xbox has not only figured out how to do something incredible that's going to blow people away when they show it and when they're about to play it, but it looks like they're creating a real big experience that is like, it's funny because even Fable, Mag, I think I wouldn't be surprised if you only play as that female. They haven't shown the other male. Maybe Fable is that story of her. And I know people are bugged about the way she looks, and I'm sorry that that happened to you. She actually looked better.
The second showing, she looked better than the first one. The first one, she looked rough, but the second one, with her brown teeth. But the second one, she looked a lot better. And I was just like, you know what? It's actually not that bad. I don't care if I play. I usually play as a female protagonist anyway in a lot of my games anyway, so I don't really care.
Yeah. I agree. They did clean up a little bit of her look, but I think we're probably better off, instead of playing a no-name, not talking character, if you actually follow we don't even know what her name is, but I think she's going to have a name, and you'll play as her, because it's more impactful to know what the story of John Marston or I've got multitask going on, or Arthur Morgan, like the story of that person, or Nathan Drake, like those are so much more memorable. And I think Xbox is going to do that with Joanna Dark, right?
Yeah.
So
exactly, because you can identify with a specific person. It's like, exactly. When you create a character, you're like, all right, I created a character. That's great.
It's
whatever.
Great. Yeah.
But it's not the same. It's still not the same as having a character created for you with a backstory, with personality, with a history, with whatever else. And it shows as they interact with other people in the world and how, you know what I mean? And so you learn about their personalities and you go on the journey with them. It's the same as when you watch a movie. You don't watch a movie that you pick your own character. Captain Kirk is there or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, they're there. And then you learn their personality and who they are over the years and over the hours of you experiencing it with them, and you have a connection with them. Mm-hmm. And so I think that it's important with some games, if you're telling a tight narrative story, then I think it's important that you have a pre-made character that you can connect.
Story.
You can connect to. I believe that 100%. And it doesn't matter what you are. It doesn't matter like male, female, whatever color you want to do, whatever race, whatever creed, whatever. If it's written well and done well, you will be able to connect with that person no matter what. You know what I'm saying? And so like for example that Tales of Zal game I played, right? Mm-hmm. You know, and that I was in tears at the end of that game, literally in tears, because of what the story was about. Doesn't matter what country you're from. Doesn't matter what color you are. Doesn't matter what race you are. Doesn't matter whether you're from Africa or from Italy. You all, at some point, have a story to tell or a story that you can be involved in with your family, with a loved one, with a parent or whatever else, and you connect because the story in that game was so good. I was literally like almost by the end of it, I was almost sobbing. Wow. Because because you're connecting on a level, right? Because it was about him and his father. Him and his and then him coping with the fact that he lost his father, who was very close to him, right? I can make that connection with that person. So that's why I think you need that pre-rendered character sometimes, that you can make that extra connection with that person and saying, you know, like whether it's Fable, I don't care if it's a girl or a guy or a goat. If they have a great story, then I will connect with that person. So I say for Fable, give me her. If
that's what they want, I think it's going to be really super memorable. And I love create a character. It's my favorite thing to sit down and make the dude look like me. Got this dork with a weapon or whatever. I love that to death. But when I get that experience, you made me think of Sleeping Dogs in like 2011.
Love that game.
You play as Wei Shang. And I remember when I played that game, I had such a cursory knowledge of what that life is like, you know, the triads and over there in Hong Kong. And I didn't know all the cultural references, but I followed Wei Shang into that world. And I became so appreciative of walking up to a food cart or walking around that world and becoming or going along that adventure with him. And when it came down to when he was in trouble, I was like frightened for him. So we need that once in a while because I think there's too much.
I'm not saying all games. I'm just saying like if the game has a strong narrative, I would prefer a character that's already pre-rendered, pre-made with a backstory, with a character, with a history, with whatever else. So I would feel that absolutely. And like I said, as long as the story is good, it doesn't matter. You will identify with that person. No matter what, you know what I mean? Whether it's complete opposite of you, just because I'm playing as a woman doesn't mean I can't associate with whatever they're experiencing in that game. It's so stupid.
And there are exceptions. Like Mass Effect's an exception. Like you create a character, but you associate with and you align with Commander Shepard. I mean, there are exceptions, but I just feel like the gaming world has gone too much into create your own character, make him or her, whatever they are. And I think you lose some of that character connection. So every once in a while, make that choice to be Joanna.
That's why.
Be Indiana Jones.
Sure.
Be Marcus Phoenix, young Marcus Phoenix. Like I know you and I choked up when Dom picked up Marcus in that trailer.
I actually didn't. Like when Dom never mind. I'm not gonna say anything. It just in case there's new. Hey, you never know. There might be new people in the ecosystem who've never played the game. I'm not going to spoil anything.
Yeah. I know.
That's why. Like, if you ask a question, and I know this sounds, some people are going to get whatever. They get all worked up about it. But they ask why people's like, oh, what the hell is a big deal with some of these PlayStation games and from the PS4 era and all that stuff. I said, because they have memorable characters that people like connected to. Like, I'm not saying that you identify with Kratos. You know what I mean? The guy's he's a god-killing god. Like, we're not god-killing gods. But when they have such a strong personality on screen, and it's done in a way that, like, Sony's also a movie studio, so they did a lot of Hollywood production in those games or whatever else. You identify with those characters, and they did do that. And Xbox does do that too. I'm just saying the reason why a lot of people gravitate towards those Last of Us and those Ghost of Tsushima, you know what I mean, with Jin in Ghost of Tsushima. What a character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like the ending of that game, I won't spoil that either for anybody who hasn't played, but the ending of that game,
that last matters. Minutes, it matters because you're
the climax, and then you know what I'm talking about, and whatever. And there's a moment where they're discussing
the thing and the guy and the thing.
They're discussing between freedom and honor and all that kind of stuff. I think you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
That was another moment where I had goosebumps on my arm. I'm like, oh my God, can you imagine if I see this on the silver screen? one of these days, whatever. I hope they do it well. And that's what I want to see. And Xbox now seems to be heading in that direction again. We got E-Day. So now we got Marcus Phoenix back in the mix. We got Dom back in the mix. Right? Doom Guy, yeah, he doesn't say anything. He just kind of nods his head. He's kind of like, Master Chief, he was doing a lot more talking in Halo Infinite, which I enjoyed. Yeah, and actually, that's another thing that I enjoy about the show. I know a lot of people were pissed off that he was taking his helmet off and doing a lot of yip-yapping on the show. But I'm like, well, guys, I actually enjoyed that. I actually really enjoyed those moments with Master Chief without his helmet on and talking. Because I want to see who this guy is. Not just, all right. You know what I mean? It's like,
that worked for Mando, though. Mando didn't take off his helmet as much. I got to read this. We got a winner for
sure. Hey.
For the coin. Grim Jr., if you're still in the chat, you're the first winner for the Gears of War coin. Please, I don't know if you could DM me. I have DMs turned off right now for people I don't follow. Email me at colteastwood@gmail.com at Grim Jr., and we'll make sure we send you the information to get that coin shipped over to you. And if you end up winning the coin, I know it's weird on the internet, but I always ask, hey, just put in the form a shipping address you're comfortable with, I remember there was times when I had stuff shipped to like a place I used to work, a place I worked at, but whatever, doesn't matter. Nobody's going to come and eat your face off, I don't suppose. All right, let me grab a couple supers here. We've got Boner Jams. Thank you so much for the $10 super. Says the Grand Duke of Game Boy and Camp LeGuane at Mag and Colt Eastwood. You handsome man. Love the show, boys. Boner Jams, I'm going to stop by the show on Wednesday. I want to hang out and kind of see what you're doing some more. I need to listen to the show and talk to you guys about it, because podcasting it's a whole thing. I want to see what you guys are doing and get all involved in that. Angry Hippie, thank you so much for the 2. Says Astrobot will be on the PlayStation, or will be on PC and Super Switch in 2 years. Astrobot might be there in a year. I don't know how long it took. I think it took 2 years for Sackboy, so we'll see. Hey, it's Eggy. Welcome to channel membership. And Meat Puppet sends a little message here from the channel membership. Thank you so much. Let's see. Let's talk about my Indiana Jones concerns. Okay. While I wait for Mag to come back, I'm just going to kind of talk about.
I'm here.
Okay. Sorry, I have to hit refresh here. There he is. I have a few concerns about Indiana Jones. I'm really excited, and I've really dove into the gameplay a lot. I've done these edits, Mag, for a couple of videos where I just show the gameplay montages, and so you're just looking at gameplay. I don't really subscribe to the first-person combat looks janky. I'm like, that's kind of how first-person combat looks like, unless you let it take over in full animation. So I'm good with how that looks. I just have some concerns. Machine Game's phenomenal. I think they'll make a really great game. I just feel like I wonder how confident they're feeling about what they have right now. And I would be remiss if I didn't at least say, I'm not sure how incredible Indiana Jones will be, and maybe it'll just be really, really good, and I hope that's good enough. But I think I feel like I just need to say that right now until I get hands-on, because Machine Games typically puts out a high 80s game. There's a lot to say about it. I could hand it over to you, because Troy Baker is doing a way better job at being Harrison Ford than I thought he could. But yeah, how are you feeling? What are your good and bads about Indiana Jones?
I again, my stance on the no release date, whatever. That's fine. I know it's not even July yet, so I'll kind of pump the brakes until. But if we don't hear anything by September, like
6
8
months
weeks
until the,
right? So, well, 6 months theoretically, we don't know 100% exactly. I mean, if they have a release date, there's 6 months till 2025. But if we don't hear anything in the next 8 weeks, then I'm going to start being like, okay, guys, what's going on here?
Okay,
what I mean?
Hold that.
By Labor Day, yeah.
Okay, Mag says if we don't hear anything in about a month or two, right? Starfield got its release date 5 months before. They announced it in March. I think they did that a little earlier because people were like, when is it really coming out? And I think Bethesda wanted to say it with their whole chest.
It already got delayed a year.
Right.
And then it got delayed another. Was it a year and a half in the end? Like 6 months and then another year? Or was it just a year? I can't remember.
I think it was just a year for the official, but you're still right. You're still right. So if they wait like what if it's kind of weird in like at the end of July to say release date for Indiana Jones when they could wait 3 months before? I don't know. Go ahead. I don't know how I feel about it. Tell me how you're feeling.
No, as long as it's coming out this year, you can, they don't have to say the release date just yet. I'm just saying that if we don't hear anything by just after Labor Day, then I'm going to start questioning stuff. And I'm going to be like, okay, guys, what's going on here? Like, you know what I mean? Like by September, like the second week of September, if we don't hear anything, that's when you start wondering, is this going to get pushed into early 2025 or whatever, right?
Yeah,
that's when,
I agree.
Like, again, that's not a concern for me. I don't care. If you need to delay it 3 months, delay it. I don't really care. Delay it 6 months. Doesn't really bother me. I got other stuff to play in the meantime.
They need to delay games if they're not ready. But what do you feel about December?
Like, it's just, well, I mean, if it does come out in December, it's a great time to come out because there's not much going on. Call of Duty's it'll already have been out for at least 6 weeks. So by that time, a lot of the early adopters, they're going to continue to play that game. But, Call of Duty is like, for some people, it's a supplementary game, right? You could turn on Call of Duty, play for 2 hours, and just fart around with your friends a little bit. But then you could go really sit down and concentrate on a single-player experience or whatever. That's how I do things. I don't sit down and play Call of Duty for 6 hours. You know what I mean? I'll play for an hour or two and be like, all right, I got my fill. All right, later, boys, or whatever, right? And then go play a single-player game on my own and just, zone out and enjoy myself in my own little world.
Yeah.
So I think December's a great time for that to release. Avowed, another one we do not have a release date for. So now I'm starting to wonder, I think that would be better suited to release that somewhere around September so that you have a nice cadence of September.
Or October.
October's when Call of Duty comes out.
Wait, what is the release date for Call of Duty Black Ops 6?
October 25.
Wow, that's like almost 2 weeks earlier than they normally do, isn't it?
Yeah. Usually it's around Remembrance Day or Veterans Day for you guys.
I don't know. You can release Avowed in early October, but one of the tentatively leaked dates was November 17th.
Okay, that also works because then by then it's almost a month. Well, it's about 3 weeks after Call of Duty. That's enough breathing space, and they're both going to Game Pass. They're different genres, and it's going to attract different people. But at the same time, gamers are gamers. I play RPGs and shooters, so I will play both.
I like to have two different games to juggle between when I'm in as mood directs. Yeah.
Because sometimes you just want to do, X instead of Y, or one day you get up and you be like, I feel like playing Y instead of X or whatever. Right? You're not just going to stick to one and be like, I'm just going to go play this. I don't care if I feel like it or not.
Some people do, but I don't. Yeah.
I mean, I do what I do with my completions and stuff. But yeah, I like to dabble in, like, sometimes I'll venture off into one or two other games at the same time and just kind of dabble just to shake up the monotony. Of it, right? Yeah, 2 hands. Just to shake up the monotony. But I don't know, man. You also don't want to overcrowd the end of the year. Like, can you imagine if you have like October 25th Call of Duty, November 17th Avowed, and then all of a sudden, like 2 weeks later, you're releasing Indy Jones. That seems a little bit.
What if,
like, you know what I'm saying? It seems like a little bit overkill in a short period of time. And I know some people be like, "Oh, that's awesome." Well, not really. You want to keep the gravy train kind of rolling, right? So you want to keep people subscribed for long. You want to keep people subscribed to Game Pass for longer. You don't want to blow your load in 7 weeks and then all of a sudden people start unsubscribing at the end of December.
Yeah, because there's nothing for them like around Christmas time. So they're like, I'll cancel my sub. That's a good point. I thought about, if you don't have to worry about sales as much being on Game Pass, they're like, well, normally you throw in Indiana Jones in December is like, oh, you're not really feeling strong about how its sales are going to do. That's my kind of one of my concerns. But maybe they're like,
I see what you're getting at. Okay, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of how I feel. That's my personal take, that typically a game drops in December or July because it's like, this is kind of a dead zone. We're hoping to catch the people who are really bored. I know it sounds sort of harsh. That's kind of a shot at Flintlock Siege of Dawn, which I'm really looking forward to. And
I want to check it out. I saw Kay Asante's already been playing it, so I read his little mini review.
Okay, cool. I want to talk about that. I don't know how much more there is to say. I'll ask you one last question about Indiana Jones because my opinion is that I'm a little concerned about how to do. I know I'll love the game, but I really want it to be a home run. Do you feel like what you've seen so far from Indiana Jones, that it's going to be like people are going to say, hey, this is awesome?
I don't know how other people are going to feel, but Machine Games...
Speak for everyone.
Yeah, right. That's the problem. Yeah, I can't speak for everyone. But I can say this, is that Machine Games has rarely let me down.
Okay.
Right? So as a result of that, I don't really see them, messing it up too much. I'd be like, all of a sudden, the only one that I didn't like that they did was that, remember that expansion they did for the Wolfenstein, even though it was like a full game, basically, the one with the twin daughters? Or whatever.
I was like, what expansion are you talking about? Yeah, Youngblood was...
Yeah, that's a Youngbloods. Yeah, Youngblood. Yeah, that was the only misstep for me. That reminded me of Far Cry New Dawn. What is it? Remember that one that came out after Far Cry 5?
The game that I loved for the first hour, and then after I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, but Fallout 5 was a fantastic game, and then they released New Dawn, and I was like, eh.
You said Fallout 5. Are you looking at the title?
Oh, Fallout! My God. Yeah, no. See, yeah,
dude, I've been misspeaking so bad. I put out a video this morning.
Far Cry. Yeah.
Far Cry. I put out a video this morning, and I butchered I don't even know how to say his name, but I said Yusuke. I butchered like some other words that are like some ninja weapons that I've never heard before, and I just read them phonetically, like Shinu na doo. So everybody in the comments is like, dude, you don't know how to say anything. I put up a poll in the chat that said, will Indy Jones slap? And 85% of this great, wonderful audience, hit the like button if you're having a good time, says, yeah, 85% are saying that Indy will slap. Yeah, I think it will too. I just hope everybody else feels the same way, because I loved New Colossus. I think New Colossus was really good, but it didn't.
I love the Wolfenstein games that they've been doing. Have been really, really good. But that's a different genre. That's a first-person shooter.
Yeah, and he says
this
genre.
Is a
guys.
whole.
I say genre.
Okay, this is a whole different situation. This is now an action-adventure first-person. I don't know how much gunplay you're going to see in this game. I think a lot of it will. Well, I can't say anything because I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to be playing, how I'm going to be playing it. However, we're just going to have to wait and see at this point. You know what I mean? And
That's
whether it takes off, what the hell are you going to do, Colt? All we can do is just wait and see. You know what I mean? I'll be there. I'll be there day one. When it's there day one, I'll be playing it, and we'll be talking about it on the show. And I'll be like, yeah, I really enjoyed it, or no, this just wasn't for me, or whatever.
Yeah.
And we will find out when it comes out. Until then, we got to give him the grace period of the rest of the summer. Let's give him the grace period. Of the rest of the summer. After Labor Day, we should revisit this and say, okay, what's going on now? Like, if they don't say anything by Labor Day, that's when we should talk about and say, okay, what the hell's going on? What are you guys doing? Is this game coming out? What's this looking like?
I think there's a slight chance that Indy will delay, but I think if they delay it, they'll delay it like 3 to 6 months.
Oh, I'm not even saying that. I'm not even saying that that's what's happening. I just want to, whatever. We should revisit it in September.
Yeah. Fawn's in the chat. Fawn's Gaming says, I think it'll be a lot of gunplay.
You might not be wrong.
When you said that, Meg, I'm like, I bet you they don't want you firing your revolver very much. So there's like got to be a measured balance of whip, fist, and revolver, right?
He very rarely used his gun. In fact, in
one spot,
in Temple of Doom, he fired the gun twice, and then Willie dropped it, and it fell out of the taxi, and he never had a gun for the rest of the movie.
Then he shot it in Raiders.
He shot it once in Raiders.
Yep.
And he shot it twice in Temple of Doom, and then lost the gun. Yeah, why? Because I know these movies like the back of my hand. And then Willie, because it was hot, and Willie dropped it out the window and it broke her nail, so it flew out of her car, out of the taxi, excuse me. And then in the third one, he did kill he killed a whole bunch of Nazis in the third one, because he had a UMP 45, and he shot a couple of Nazis with that, and then he had that, what is it called, the Sig Hauser handgun. Yeah, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
And then he shot. Remember that? And he shot like one Nazi with it, but the bullet went through like 3 of them, and like all 3 bodies fell. They fell off the side of the tank. So yeah, he did use it in there, but for the most part, it was fists.
It was fists,
or just evasion.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, and he doesn't want to fight. So I think that's going to be part of like the tension and the fun of that game, where when you have to start whipping someone's head off. Who was it?
Find out.
King Style says, "Crack that whip" from Devo.
Yeah.
All right, we got.
Yeah, don't call me Junior. Thank you, Jacob. Tupua. I'm gonna call you that. Yeah.
Tupua.
Don't call me Junior. That's when he shot the Nazis with the UMP-45. Yeah.
What's the best Indiana Jones movie?
Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom, huh?
You know why? Because it's the most misunderstood Indy Jones.
I couldn't believe we watched it with the kids. I couldn't believe how dark it was.
Well, the thing is, Raiders of the Lost Ark is actually the best made indie film by far. It's an absolute classic. It would stand in the top 5, top 10 greatest movies of all time, I would think. However, the reason why Temple of Doom for me is that movie is because it's so misunderstood. Temple of Doom was supposed to be a parody of the pulp fiction novels of the late 1920s and early 1930s, where it's supposed to be a little bit fantastical, a lot of mysticism, a lot of like completely over the top things that would basically never happen. And the reason why they did all that, it was supposed to be an homage and a parody of the old pulp novels, which I've read and listened to on the old radio shows.
So was Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders was more of a serial. Like the serial films of that's where like he did like the serial films of like Buck Rogers and the other ones where they always ended up with a cliffhanger. There was always a death-defying moment, this and that. Flash Gordon, another one. Those were also the inspirations as well for Star Wars, right? And of course, if we know anything about anything, George Lucas wrote not the scripts, but he wrote the stories for all the Indiana Jones movies. Okay. Right up until the last one.
I love the reference to classic greatness and riffing off of that, like Star Wars and Indiana Jones does, and that's the cool thing. Well, I said my concerns, Mag, but the tone.
It seems like they got the tone.
Yes.
In the game, they got the music. They've got like the little. Well, I mean, we only saw a small little set piece or whatever of them on the boat and whatever else, and the personality seemed to be there, whatever else. So like, let's see how they do it. Let's see how they pull it off.
Give me a little choo-choo.
Yeah. Us Americans, yeah, choo-choo. Yeah. I'm going to be going to Germany next year, so I will not be doing that.
Little known fact that Mag was the guy that played that Nazi for that part of the game.
Yeah, thanks, Cole. Now it's going to be all over socials. Mag is a Nazi, confirmed. Yeah.
But he does a good choo-choo.
That was my old Harrison Ford voice.
I want to talk about briefly about the games that are coming out this year, because we always talk about, oh my gosh, these games, when are we going to get them? There are about 8 games that are. Yeah, let's do the rest of the winners as we go through these. Let's see, I want to talk briefly about our thoughts and kind of present to you the games we're going to be playing over the next 3 to 5 months. There's not enough time to play them. Okay. I'm going to start off with Star Wars Outlaws. I think this game looks awesome. Some stuff looked a little not as cool as I was hoping, but Star Wars Outlaws looks great. I don't know, Meg, how are you feeling about Star Wars Outlaws and the character and what you could do? What do you think?
Well, I'll be playing both Ubisoft games because you know why. So I'll be playing both of them at some point. I just don't know when. So I mean, that and Assassin's Creed, I'll check them both out when I.
Well, tell me what are you expecting as far as excitement and satisfaction level from Star Wars Outlaws?
Again, that's one where I'm just like, okay, this looks like a lot like the Ubisoft formula, but it looks like they're diving deep into the Star Wars lore, which is nice. Star Wars has been completely tainted and ruined by Disney. However, the video games have still maintained a sense of quality to them, like the Jedi Survivor game, the Jedi games. That EA has done. I still liked Battlefront. I thought they were fun games. I enjoyed them quite a bit. I think Star Wars. Yeah, I want another one too. Star Wars Outlaws looks great. So I mean, I will go in there and I'll give it a go.
AC Shadows, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Before you, I'll talk first. Sure. I don't care about all the freaking controversy about AC Shadows. It looks fantastic. I showed all gameplay, a whole gameplay montage today in a video. I love those Assassin's Creed games. I know you do too. So I'm already satisfied. I think I'm really going to enjoy AC Shadows. We play that in November. How you feeling about that one?
I play all the Assassin's Creed games. I 100% every single one of them. So it's not a mystery that I'll be playing this at some point. I just don't know when.
Are you going to love it?
Well, I don't know. I got to play it first, but I mean, it looks great. I just hope the map is not too bloody overwhelming. Like AC Valhalla was ridiculous. That was the limit for me. Where I'm like, guys, you need to calm this down. And the other thing is too, in order to get the 100% on Valhalla, it's got these little circles at the bottom of the screen, and there's like 46 of them per region. You have to find every collectible in every region and fill all of those little circles.
Jason
in order
Ronald did that, by the way.
It's just too much, man. It's too much.
Is it gonna scratch the itch for you though, AC Shadows? Come on, tell it.
Well, yeah, because I just came off of AC Mirage, right? I just got the completion on that one, and I loved it, and I'm like, okay. So I don't see any problem with this one. So we'll see when it gets closer to. I like I said, I don't know what kind of formula they're going with here, because there seems to be the stealth versus tank sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not interested in the tank thing at all. And it's not because of who he is. It's because I'm not interested in being a tank.
I was also thinking, I'm going to put a poll up. That's
I prefer stealth. I prefer stealth when I play my games.
I'm going to write AC Shadows.
Sure. Even Last of Us, you have the choice of going in guns blazing if you really wanted to, or you go to an entire area and you could stealth kill every last person. 100 times out of 100, I will go around and I'll stealth kill everybody. I don't care how long it takes.
Okay, I'm asking the audience.
I enjoy that. No, that's it. That's all I was gonna
say. No, I'm with you. But I don't want to sully the poll. I said in AC Shadows, just for this game, basically what I'm asking is, are you going to choose the samurai or are you going to choose the ninja or the shinobi?
Ninja.
Yeah,
ninja.
I think we're both like. I mean, I want to do like the heavy. I don't typically use heavy weapons in games like that because I like speed over power. I'm a
same when I played Elden Ring. When I played Elden Ring, I used speed. I don't want the big stupid like axe that's like the size of a telephone pole and I'm swinging it over my head. That's ridiculous. Yeah, it's like, whoa. And I'm like, no, give me like 2 katanas that have like fire on them. You know what I'm saying? Like I would prefer speed, and I prefer stealth.
I think they're trying to show that you can use these heavy weapons as Yasuke, or someone tell me right phonetically how you say his name. I think it's
Yasuke. Yasuke. So it's like the U is like so short. It's there, but it's so short.
I heard it, and then when I was recording my video, I couldn't remember, and I said Yasuke, and I'm like, and I was too lazy to change it.
So it's a very, very short U sound when you speak in Japanese.
Say it again.
Yasuke.
Yasuke.
So it's not like I'm saying. It's not. You're not saying Yasuke. You're saying Yasuke.
Red writes like Yasuke. Yas. Very good.
Just a touch of the U. Yasuke.
Yudani goes Yas Queen.
Yeah.
Very good. Yas Queen.
Choo choo. Sorry, it was there for the taking. Can you please get that sound bite so we can put it on the show?
Say, that would be so good to get Mag doing shoot
Sundays. All right.
Like, I mean, I want that. Like, so we're like, you know, in the middle of something. It's like, oh, they finally announced the release date. All of a sudden, choo choo. Yeah.
Choo choo, Yasuke. Choo choo.
Have you tried the lasagna? It's my favorite.
Let's do it.
Wah wah wiggle wacky wacky wobble wazzle whizzle. Okay, we got. Hold on. Do we have the winner announced yet? Happy Palm. Let me know in the or let me know if you pick the next set of winners. We're gonna give away the rest of the other 4 coins here. Looks like they're posted in. We were chewing and not doing a lot of reading. Hold on. I love you guys so much, so much. Where is it? I don't know. Hold on. There it is. Okay, the rest of the winners for the Gears of War coins from Xbox Fan Art are the following: at JB for Real 4224, at Frost and Fury 666. Winners, congrats. Please email colt@gmail.com. That's me. And acknowledge here that you got it. Justy Spud and Web Dave. I didn't even read this properly. because I don't know how to read or say Japanese names properly. So the winners are at Justy Spud, at WebDave, at JB for Real, and at Frosted Fury 666. Write in the chat with a Gears emoji that you got that, and then we will get a hold of you. We'll send out the form that gets it delivered directly to your door for only $0.00 on your behalf. Taxes and fees do not apply, but we appreciate you for the Gears coin. Here's the blue side, which is cool.
Madix, the only thing that
what?
No, go ahead.
No,
I'll yell in a minute.
The problem with these coins is I don't know which side I want to show. I put them on my desk.
I actually like that Xbox. No, that side there.
Yeah,
the
it is
Xbox.
so cool.
It actually looks really cool. I like that. It's almost like a metallic blue.
Yeah, and if you looked at it closely, it resembles like the big circle doors that you see in the world in like Gears 5 and stuff. So very
cool. I like it. I like it.
So congrats to everybody. All right, we are running low on but it's just a couple more left. We already
Madix, the only thing that's cringe is the fact that you spent a lot of time writing this as cringe in the chat.
What's cringe? The choo-choo?
I don't know, but if it is, I'm gonna keep doing it. If he hates it, I'll do it more.
Oh,
dude,
bro.
you don't have no idea what I'm like.
Shout out to Hargeet in the chat. Red Wolf and I were annoying him so much, and he got so mad it only fueled us to continue to be absolute morons. Where was this? Oh, world-renowned Geo at your cringe Matix. Haha, showed you. Is that what you were reading?
Yeah, him. I
He's
won't
not
say his
talking
first
about
name
you.
because last time. I don't know what he's saying.
He's talking about Matix or whoever this is.
Yeah, Matix, that guy. I won't say his first name because if someone says, "Oh, it sounds too much like something else."
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I've seen him in the chat. Yeah. Hey, we'll see another AC game, bro. Bring him on.
There he is.
So far, they've been so good. Yeah. He's like, oh, someone noticed me. Yeah. Somebody wrote something, tried to be mean to Red Wolf today on socials, and I'm like, don't even try. Oh, don't even try.
Yeah.
All right, Warhammer's 40K Space Marine 2, Gears of War style horde game. Are you excited at all?
Looks all right, but I'm not a horde player.
Yeah, not either. I hope it's good.
I'm not
cool.
I mean like those Vermintide games. I play them for a little bit, and I'm like, after like about an hour, I'm like, I'm done. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. You just keep killing and killing and killing and killing and killing and killing and killing, and I'm like, will you do anything else? Like, this is boring now. I'm like, it's just like mowing down like just legions of whatever, and I'm like, nah, I'm done.
That's kind of what got me worn out with Helldivers. I felt like you're just killing these enemies coming over and over and over.
What's funny? Helldivers 2 didn't really do anything for me either.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is I played it for a bit, and I'm just like, nah, it just fell off for me. My wife loves it. She plays with some of her friends at work and stuff, and she's enjoying it, but like me, it just dropped off for me, like off a cliff.
It's still quality. It's still quality.
It's still quality, but I played about 6 or 7 hours, and I was done. I just never picked it up again, and I was like, thank God it was only $40 because it just didn't do anything for me.
I bought it twice. All right, Avowed. Avowed. I'll say I am really excited about Avowed because it's kind of quirky looking. It's got some stuff in there that I don't often get from games. It's got third-person and first-person camera. It's got a bunch of different powers, plus a bunch of different weapons, ranged, melee, spell casting, a bunch of different creatures. A companion kind of does the whole fantasy RPG thing. I don't know. I'm really excited about. How are you feeling about Avowed?
I'm normally into these things, but for some reason it just doesn't show well for me.
Yeah.
Like when I see the trailers, I'm just like, no, it's like, I mean, like I said, that's not indicative of how I'm going to feel when I play it. Mm-hmm. I am going to play it. I'm going to download it and I'm going to play it because I have Game Pass. I will give it a shot and I'll give it a good old college try.
But if it doesn't connect with me, huh? Right?
But cartoony doesn't really even matter anyway because I played Borderlands. Like, look at, you know what I mean? Like Borderlands is one of my favorite series of all time.
I hope it wins you over. I hope it wins me over as well.
But if it doesn't connect after 5 hours, then I'm going to be like, no, like then I'll know it's not for me. But if it starts to, like, if the loop gets me, then I'm like, all right, I'm in. You know what I mean? So. But as I see it, it's one of those, all right, I'll just wait till it comes out and I'll give it a shot. And like I said, I'm not going to give it a shot like it's a job. I'm going to give it a shot like, all right, let's give this a shot. Let's play it. Yeah. And go in with enthusiasm and I'll give it a real try. But if it doesn't connect, it doesn't connect. But if it does, I'm in. Cuz Borderlands, I didn't like Borderlands 1.
Oh, you didn't?
And then No, I didn't really like it.
In the trailers, I thought it looked dumb, and then it won me over like crazy. But what
I played
Borderlands
2. Borderlands 2 was given away for free on Xbox Live Gold. Do you remember when they used to give away actual decent games on
and
Xbox
on PlayStation
Games with Gold? Yeah, I got it on Xbox Games with Gold. The part 2 with the Handsome Jack collection. No, sorry, it was just Borderlands 2.
Oh yeah.
So I played it and I was like,
yeah.
God, I'm like, this is actually really good. So I went back and I played 1. I played Borderlands 1, and then I fell in love with it, and I'm like, okay, now I understand this game.
Okay.
Then I went back, and then I bought the Handsome Jack collection with all the DLC, and I 100%ed all that, and then I fell in love with this series, and I haven't looked back. So you never know, man. Avowed might be that Borderlands for me. You don't know. We don't know till it's on.
You never know. I'm a little bit too optimistic about it, and I'm a little more hyped than I think I should be about Avowed, but I'm good with that. So I'm looking forward to Avowed. The next one, which is in the same vein, is this one has had a very interesting reception. And shout out to Red Wolf, who did a video about Dragon Age Veilguard.
Yeah,
Red Wolf he's an anomaly. He makes this video breaks down everything about Dragon Age Veilguard. And he gets like 40 views in one day. Like nobody watched it. And he calls me, he's like, I don't know what happened, man. Like everyone's talking about Dragon Age and nobody watched it. I'm like, bro, that really sucks. Because it was a great video. And then I talked to him the next day and he got 1,000 views overnight, which is just over his subscriber count. I don't know why I'm telling that story other than go subscribe to his channel. He's 45 or 50 subs short of hitting 1,000 subscribers, which is a really cool milestone. And if you know Red Wolf, he's been on the show and he makes such good content and it's really funny. And if I recommend him, he's almost as cool as Mag. And if you don't like Mag, what the hell are you doing? No. So
there's a lot of people who don't like me. Hey, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Nobody likes me either. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get back on track. Dragon Age Veilguard doesn't.
I saw it and I was like, nah, this ain't it. I'm like, this ain't it. I mean, especially after coming off of like Dragon's Age or the other one that came out, which was this just looks like Fortnite with dragons. It just doesn't look good. I'm not saying it's not good. It just that doesn't.
Can you be a little bit more fair because it kind of looks. Okay, maybe
impressions are everything, Colt. Impressions are everything. And my first impression of it was, this doesn't look like the sequel I wanted. I wanted a realistic dark fantasy, serious Dragon Origin. Dragon Origins. Dragon Age game. Yeah. And I got what this was. This ain't it.
Can I tell you what bothered me about it?
Sure.
And I'm not writing it off because I would love to be turned around and surprised.
I'd love to be wrong too.
Yeah.
I'd love to be wrong too. But my impression is that.
I need to get. Can somebody put Red Wolf's channel link in the chat, please? See if we can get him a couple subs. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. My issue was the tone of the game, which I think is yours as well. Like the dwarf is like, oh, these guys are a-holes. And I'm like, that's not fantasy RPG.
No.
I don't know. That's not fantasy to me. Like these guys, it's like, we got to go kill the neglected or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
There's my two things. And he's like, well, yeah, look, you're right. These guys are a-holes. And I'm like, that doesn't make me feel like I'm in this cool fantasy thing. And I don't need, betwixt thine thighs, my face shall be. I don't need that.
What?
I think it was a line in Dragon's Dogma.
A Minotaur. Yeah.
Don't stop her. The tone, like they're trying to go for that laid back, like, hey, skibbity toilet.
Yeah, no. Fortnite. Hey, look at David VGS in the chat says it best for me. Veilguard looks bad and cheap. That's how it looked like to me. It looked like Fortnite.
And I understand that Mag and I are like really old. We're Gen X guys. So maybe we sound like super old, like Crumgens. But like you said, Dragon Age Inquisition was more kind of stuffy.
It doesn't have to be stuffy. It just has to be like, just take yourself a little bit more seriously and like, it just make a solid.
I don't need to laugh.
Whatever, man.
Make a solid what?
I've been waiting for the Dragon Age game for years.
Yeah.
And when I saw this, I was like, this is just like a mobile expansion, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Saying that stuff.
And I'm like, right? This is just a mobile game, right?
Veilguard for your phone.
And I'm talking like, and I'm like, right? Like just yelling to myself. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is actually the game.
I like some of the gameplay though. Like the sword play looked good, and then he has ranged. This was another game where Mag and I were talking about an hour ago about how you could create your character however you want, and I think he or she will be voiced by the same character. You lose some of that. You kind of have to create your own character in a game like that, but it loses some of that punch when you get to play as the player character. Like, like the Chosen, you get called the Chosen instead of being called Commander Shepard or whatever. We got a couple supers here. We got a couple more games to cover, and then we'll be out. Relic, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Thank you for being patient. Appreciate it. Meg and I are on a roll today. Relic says, yo, Colt and Mag, thanks for making the social traffic not suck. Oh, the SoCal traffic not suck as bad on Mondays. Cheers, boys. Awesome.
Hey, man, the best we can do to help you out. Sorry about the traffic.
Yeah, my older brother does a podcast with his best friend. They talk about 80s music, and I listen to on the drive back and forth from things, and we are honored to be a little bit of mundane saving entertainment, Mag, right? Like we're honored.
Yeah, absolutely. Magnum, boomers are in their 70s. I'm still in my 40s. Christ's sake.
Barely.
The hell's the matter with him?
No, I mean, hopefully we don't sound like boomers when we're saying that we don't like. I think Veilguard's kind of had a pretty rough reception. And we'll move on to another game. Udani Kazada, thank you so much for the 5. Says, Mag, a guy opens his front door, gets his car hit, and you think that of me? I am not the one who talks anyway. Carry on, Colt.
Oh, boy.
Red Wolf says, thank you for the 2, Red. The trailer looked like Fortnite, but the gameplay didn't. The gameplay did look cool, and the turn-based stuff looked cool. My other issue, and we'll move on from Dragon Age, is that it's another game where there are these randomized, or how do I say it? Purple glowing enemies. Like, here they're spawning in the enemies that don't have any personality, or like Suicide Squad did and stuff. That's how I feel. I hope it's great. I'm going to move on to the next one. I don't know if it's coming out this year, but have you seen Light No Fire from Hello Games? They make No Man's Sky, but it's a fantasy world building. Like you build your own. You think that's going to be a good game? Are you excited?
That's not. I don't know. I'd have to see more of it, but that's not coming out. That's not coming out this year.
I'm thinking so as well, but I'm excited about that. I hope it gives me that sense of wonder. And I was watching that with my son, and like you can fly around on a canary or a dragon, and you can go around. You can be a little fox. It looks cool. I'm not going to spend much time on this. So Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is a remaster. It's probably coming out this year. Are you excited? Do you have big nostalgia for that?
I love Metal Gear games, and I love them all. So yeah, I'll definitely be playing that one. Is that this year though? I don't think that's this year.
There was a date that said 2024. I think it's the last thing Konami said is 2024.
Okay. I thought it was 2025.
But yeah, probably.
I thought it was 25. But anyways, either way, yeah, 100% I'm in.
I didn't put this in my video. I cut it out. But there's a game called First Descendants. It's a 4-player Anthem-style looter shooter from EA. You're like wearing kind of mech armor a little bit, but you can kind of move around quickly, and you have guns and stuff. How do I say it? It's a free-to-play, high-quality video, strategic boss fights, and it's a free-to-play looter shooter. I don't think anybody's gonna care about it. I don't know if you've seen it. Do you? Any opinion?
Yeah, it didn't really hit my radar at all.
How you feeling about Flintlock Siege of Dawn? Fawn said this third-person like melee and flying, and you can shoot like a grenade launcher. He said the demo was fantastic. And who'd you say who played it as well? And
Asante played it. I'm gonna read his little review here. He put it up on Twitter. So Asante, what's up, buddy? I know you're out there. He put the good size demo. I feel like I played a lot, but I'm not close to the end of it. I like the indie energy of this game. You could tell the makers poured a lot of themselves into this game. The story starts off interesting, and I like the protagonist, although she's a bit too cocky at times. I see its inspirations while playing. It's got Souls-like energy, but it's definitely not a Souls-like.
Meaning it's definitely not impossible.
Yeah, I even see a bit of Assassin's Creed. The traversal gets interesting with moves that lead to chaining locomotion. Now he goes into the not so good. Yeah, so far that sounds really interesting to me. The one thing that shocked me about what Asante said was that it wasn't a Souls. It definitely was not a Souls like, and I thought that's exactly what it was. However, now he's saying the not so good. With that indie energy comes a bit of jank and rough edges. It is a demo, so we'll see how the game ends up. The visuals are inconsistent. Some parts are beautiful, others not so much. The combat system gets a bit unwieldy sometimes with a lot to remember.
Okay, I remember reading this tweet.
Yeah, okay, so the character movement feels stunted a bit, so I keep her running. I wish her default speed was running instead of the slow walk. Unless she's wearing really tight pants, then slow walk is all good. Speaking of that indie energy, there...
This game comes out in a month, by the way, and I really appreciate you reading this because it really fills out all the information I don't have. And shout out to Kay Asante for taking the time to report this for us.
Speaking of that indie energy, there are a lot of locations early on where there's wooden constructions all around you. And although you carry an axe, you can't do damage to any of it. I think I will play more of this when it releases. The story seems interesting and the combat is challenging enough to make me want to stick with it. My current nitpicks, I suspect, can be fixed with patches. So to me, that sounds very promising. And also, we're getting it, another caveat, we're getting it in Game Pass, and it comes out July 18th. So that demo could just be an earlier build. Not really sure. But it comes out in a month, and I am definitely going to play it because to me, it looks like a lot of fun.
It does, and it comes to Game Pass. And
it comes to Game Pass. That's a huge bonus.
Yeah, you don't have to break your wallet to see if you'll like it, which, I mean, thankfully there's a demo too. That's kind of cool. Demo and it's on Game Pass.
I think the demo is only for PC though.
That's what I was wondering.
I think so because I didn't see it. Did you see it? I didn't see it hanging around.
I didn't look.
Anybody want to clarify that for us in the chat before we wrap up this?
I'm getting emails about the coins too, so thank you guys. I'm not really excited about this game, but I put it in my video for 20. This one comes out, I think, in this year. Is Unknown 9 Awakening, where you play as a girl who looks like she's from India, but she jumps into the bodies of other people and does like a leap. What do they call it? Into the Fold is where she jumps in through a dimension and can get into other people's bodies and fight evil. It looks okay. I mean, graphically looks good. I don't even know if I'm going to ask your opinion on this because it was at Summer Games Fest.
What about No Rest for the Wicked? That's another one that a lot of people are talking about. Do you see that? Check it out when you have a moment.
Hold on. Wait, is that the name of it? Or are you mixing up part of the name?
I swear it was No Rest for the Wicked.
Hold on. Is that coming out? Let me see. No Rest for the Wicked. For some reason, I'm remembering it comes out.
I know some people have. It's already out on PC, I think, isn't it? And then it's coming out to consoles this year. Is it coming out this year? I'm
Guys,
not really
you mind if I look this up real quick? Well,
take a peek at it.
Tell me what it is while I look it up. Or explain to the audience what this game is.
It kind of looks like a Diablo sort of game, but I mean, it's...
Oh, okay, I'm seeing it. Sorry.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah. I'm looking at a Digital Foundry. Yeah, it's isometric.
Yes. Yes.
It's... Gosh darn it, Meg. This is from Moon Studios, the ones that made Ori and the...
Yes.
You threw me off because obviously I know what this is. I know people are really excited about how it's developing, but I don't think it's going to make it this year. But
oh, that's too bad. Well, because it's out on Steam already, but but it'll be coming to Xbox later on, and then it's coming to everything. Sorry, so it'll be Xbox, Windows, GeForce Now, PlayStation 5, everything. Yeah, so it's coming out across the board. So yeah, that sorry, I thought that was this year, but never mind.
Yeah, sorry, I completely I know what No Rest for the Wicked is, but when I saw the art, the cover art, it looked like a female with with a Vampire Survivor cover, and I'm like, I didn't. Once I saw the gameplay, I'm like, duh, this is from the Ori devs.
Frost Fury, thank you for that. Yeah. He was just saying, No Rest for the Wicked plays like a Dark Souls game, but looks like an ARPG because of the view. So yes, thank you for that.
Yeah. yeah, I obviously know who makes that game, but you totally threw me off there. Yeah, I know when you say Dark Souls, I'm like, we'll see. Because, some of those I love. Some of them like Sekiro and some of those other ones just absolutely destroyed me.
Sekiro ruined my life.
The last game before we call it tonight, we went over, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm not even it's Stalker 2. I'm sure it's going to be cool. I hope it's some awesome. I don't want to keep you here any longer. I think we've had a pretty good show, and I didn't even want to go this long because it's been kind of quiet. But Meg, I had a good time tonight. And
it was fun. We had a good time. I had a great time. We had a great time. We had a great show. The chat was hilarious. I think the first 35 minutes of the show was hilarious. It was just Dustin.
What did we talk about?
Nothing. We were just talking about life, and then people were just cracking jokes and everything else. And we had a good time, man. We had a good time.
We really do appreciate you. Meg and I talk throughout the week and share our appreciation of you guys all making it worth our while and making it a fun time. And we learn a lot. And I say a lot of dumb things, and sometimes Mag's not here to stop me, but I think I'm going to spend the rest of the week modding the crap out of Starfield and kind of getting I'm cultivating this really extra experience that I feel is, thanks to Red Wolf, is lore specific. Like anything I want to put in the game, it's got to be fit the game. Like the Batman suit, I put it on for a minute, and I'm like, okay, we'll delete that. That was cool for a second. But I've been doing that and really, oh gosh, Starfield's way better than it was at launch. So I'll be doing that. What are you going to be playing besides one of my favorites?
I'm still doing I'm going to be, for a while, I'm going to be neck deep in Dying Light 2 and Resident Evil 6. And actually, no, Resident Evil 6, I got to wait till next week because I won't be able to get to play co-op with my wife there. So I'm going to be Dying Light 2, and then I'm probably going to dive into something else. Don't know yet. So I'll figure it out as I go. I may consider X Defiant. Is that what the hell it's called? The Ubisoft shooter?
Yeah, it's better now.
I might give it a whirl this week. Just give it a shot and see how it plays out. I'll be playing that on Xbox if that's the case. If I decide to download it, give it a shot and see how it goes from there. Magnum, I'm not gonna make fun of your mom this week, okay? No, because he actually said you didn't even make fun of my mom this week. I'm like, no, you were actually a little nicer this week. You weren't as unhinged as you were last week. So
did you have a good Father's Day?
It was outstanding. Yeah, the night before we had a huge party at the house. We had neighbors over and the kids and yeah, man, it got messy, man. It was a lot of beer, a lot of tequila, a lot of wine, and a lot of cigars, and a lot of bonfires and barbecue, and it was amazing, man. It was awesome. It was it was a beautiful summer night with a roaring fire in the backyard. Yeah, good times, man. How about you?
This all happened before your car got hit. Or after?
No, that was after. No, that was after the car got hit. No, the car got hit like 2 days before.
Yeah.
So
no, mine was good. Mine was good. Just chilled with my kids, my in-laws. Had some steak. Had some Mountain Dew. It was great.
Excellent.
No, it was a good time. And yeah, I've been a dad for a long, long time.
Yeah,
what
man.
21
Greg
years,
E3
almost.
Oh no, not Greg E3. Sorry, who the hell wrote that? Oh, you're not because I ignored it. He goes, "You're missing naked women, Meg." Sorry, that's Noise Mofo. There were naked women, but it was much later in the evening. Anyways, yes, carry on. We were talking about Mountain Dew. Yes.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. Purple Haze opened up a can of worms with this $5 super chat. Says, "Hey, do we know if the rumor is true that Black Myth Wukong is getting a public demo this week? And how do you feel about the delay on Xbox consoles?"
I don't know.
There's a rumor that I won't even bring up here that doesn't blame the Xbox Series S. I would tell you that my personal opinion or my expertise on Black Myth Wukong, if you want to trust me at all, is that the real reason that Black Myth Wukong is not coming to Xbox the same time as PlayStation is the XDK. The development kit takes longer to do. And it takes longer, and a small development team's like, look, we don't got it the way we want it right now, and we don't want to launch it that way. We'd much rather wait. And Xbox needs to get that figured out. I don't know if that's true, but I definitely would believe that over the Series S being the holdback or some other like nefarious reason that you may have heard over the internet. Don't believe it. I think it really comes down to the XDK. The development process is just way too convoluted for a smaller team to have to deal with. Risking for the Biscuit says, did you guys give C Skillup's showcase wrap up was really critical. No gameplay, no release dates. Seems even when Xbox nails it, we don't give credit.
I actually missed it and that's funny because I watch all of SkillUp's content because I generally like his breakdowns of like game reviews and stuff. But I totally missed that. So I'm thank you, Risk, and I'm going to go back and check it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Madix says, "Did you know you have really big ears?" Well, they used to stick out when I was younger, but I mean, I really like the way I look a lot. I look at myself in the mirror every day and go, man, I really like the way I turned out.
Benjamin Berardi, thank you.
When Riskett says, what's that?
No, I was just saying they were saying Happy Father's Day to us.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much.
Responding.
When SkillUp, thank you, Mag. As I'm looking at a different tab. When Risk is talking about SkillUp complaining about no gameplay and no release dates, that doesn't make the show any less important to me. I am there for the games that we're going to play. They showed little bits. They could have shown more gameplay, but I don't think you do that until you're like ready to release the game. Now, I get complained about Indiana Jones should have shown more gameplay if you're 5 to 6 months out, but I think there was a few people that gave that review for the showcase lower numbers than it should be. But oh well, that's their opinion. Everyone gets one, and putting a number on a showcase I think is silly anyway. But hey, have at it. We appreciate everything, guys. We're gonna get out of here. Mag, hey, and if you subscribe to Red, you're so cool. I would love to see what his numbers end up like. But we will be here next week, and we'll have a good time. Mag, thanks so much. Any parting words you want to say to the people while you have the microphone?
No, everybody. It was a great chat tonight. Great conversation. Great topics. And we will see you guys all next week. Bring your friends. Everybody have a good night. We'll talk to you then.
See you later, guys.